The pro.
Are you a pro magic boy?
Hey, he's got a TikTok account and everything. He must be professional.
Right. I'll have a look at that after. So it's Darren Lee.
Darren Lee, hold on, I'll just get my TikTok up. Darren Lee Magic Show.
Magic Show.
How many views did that big
Darren Lee Magic Show.
Shop, okay.
Show.
Show.
That's
Sorry, I'm from Wales. Yeah. So
it's at the moment I've got 1,706 followers.
And how many did that view? What's it get?
672.3k.
672.3k. 3k. You might get a mention.
All right.
Okay. No. You can tell. Don't ask me something. Ask me. It's fine.
No, I'll tell you later.
Okay. Right. I'll have a look at that after, Darren.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I'll be judging you, like these what magicians do, like these.
Oh, it's nothing.
Judging you. Oh, I could do that.
Nothing spectacular. He says he's had 600,000 views on one video. Bastard.
Right.
It's what you're gonna have to teach me how you did it.
I don't even know. All what I put was #magic, #square, and #circle.
There you go.
Wow. Magic square circle. These
Square
are technical.
circle.
I don't know what these words mean. Hi, Alex.
Hello
Good
there.
evening.
I'm prepared as well. Well, I really must empty it before I need a wee a second time.
Is it nice and warm, that, Stu?
It's freezing cold.
Oh.
Must go and see the doctor.
Looks like it's distinctly lacking in alcohol.
Yeah, I haven't actually got any. Well, I've got alcohol. I just haven't got any beer in at the moment. So it's going to be an
I'm
alcohol
on
free
cups of
evening.
tea tonight. I'm waiting till the weekend for I have a beer. Don't you bring a beer can up now, Alex.
Bastard.
Can you just get rid of one square? Can you do? Can we have like a censored thing, a blurred image every time the can comes
Blurred
up?
image. Try and hide it.
You haven't got a brown paper bag, have you? Is that
What is
palming? Are you a magician? Look at that.
Is that for the beer or his face?
Hey, that was magic. That was magic. So, yeah. So how long have you been doing magic, Darren?
About 32, 34 years as a children's
Yeah, same as me, that.
Yeah, doing children's shows.
Right. Do you do close-up or stand-up or?
No.
Oh. In other words, then, so you make money from doing magic, then?
Yes. Well, not at the moment.
Well, that's what kid shows is, isn't it? Kid show entertainers seem to really do well, you know. I was just saying before, Alex, when I used to work at JB Magic, people would come in and they go, have you got a trick that's under £15, can be examined, no skill required, because I've got a gig tonight. And you go, oh, and it's a wedding.
Gig.
Always a wedding, and you go, what are the bride and groom doing? So,
If you've got a trick, surely they had some material already.
I don't know. They must have said, oh, me mate does tricks. He'll come and do your wedding for you.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
He's very good, me mate. But you know the difference. You can tell, can't you?
Oh, yeah.
You know, if someone bought a couple of tricks like a stratosphere and a change bag and give it to someone on the street and then give it to Darren, you'd know the difference. So hopefully, Darren, they know the difference.
I know, that's it. There's a lot of fucking people out there who probably shouldn't be performing.
Yeah.
And when you look at what they're doing, what they're all doing, fucking mini chop cup, flipping brainwave deck, card in wallet, coin unique or equivalent. They're all doing the
Coin
same
unique.
thing. There's nothing wrong with the tricks. It's just that the ones that haven't particularly got much in the way of talent can very easily get hold of them for not very much and do them without much in the way of practice.
Yeah.
Well, both Alex and Stuart seen my children's act anyway.
Well, you must be good. They're still talking to you, mate. Otherwise, you wouldn't be allowed on. You haven't seen my act, so I'm all right.
Bloody excellent kids entertainer.
Good.
I've seen your
Actually,
act.
Darren, you may see my act in the boot camp.
Hey,
Well, you'll see, no, you
Does
won't see his act. You'll see his electric chair routine and explanation. That's in the boot camp.
Yeah. Or my effort doing it.
It's a bloody good set, that. As was your lecture.
Yes,
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
It
brilliant.
was. Bloody good night, that was.
Only because you had a few drinks and we told jokes all night.
That was just the icing on the cake.
Thanks, pal. So,
Alex, can you allow me to share screen, please?
Oh, yeah. That might. Yeah, first of all, let me share. I wouldn't. Why? You're not going to do shitloads of screen sharing, are you?
It's going to be, well, it's all set up now.
All right.
To read at 5-2 and saying I can't.
Well, no, I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying it gets covered up. It certainly does on recordings anyway. Apparently, whatever I see and you lot see, got fuck all to do with it. Bizarrely.
Well, I could always produce this as a PDF afterwards, but
no, it'll be fine. Everyone said they could see it last night, so fuck off. I didn't want to share. Stop share. It's just at the minute, right? I've got you in the middle.
yeah,
And I've got people across the top. Now that's fine at the minute, but when it does screen share, it depends. That could be blocking, but you can move people around.
Spotlight me first, and then screen share.
I did that
Sounds
yesterday.
like I'm not spotlighted because you're.
Yeah, no, you're not at the minute, but you did. Yes. My point is, yesterday you were.
Right.
Now I can move people around when the screen share happens, so that they're not at the top and not blocking the screen. I can get them out of the way like I did yesterday, so that nobody could see anything at all. It wasn't blocking things at all, apparently, I gather. But on the replay, you'll see in the group, I've got everyone down here at the bottom, so it's not blocking the screen, so I can see.
Yeah.
And yet they've ended up, rather than being horizontal across the bottom out the way, they've ended up vertical on the screen. Not only knocking off the last couple of letters and things, some long sentences. Most of it's fine. In a fucking vertical position.
That's why I had vertical on my side.
Well, that's what's ended up on the recording, but that's not how it was on my screen.
That's odd.
I moved them down out of the way so that they wouldn't be knocking the last letter or two off the.
That's.
And I thought that it. Oh, hang on. I thought as I'm admin, although it's that it moved. Fuck knows. Very strange. Oh, it's your screen that's getting shared. So you would have to move the people to move them from where they are into the gappy area. You can just you can just hover over somebody, but rather than where it says mute, you can hover, get on the screen so your mouse doesn't really do anything.
Yeah.
Click on it, and when screen sharing's going on, and not at the minute, and move, and the entire block comes with the mouse, and you can move it into like a lower area of the screen on a blank.
Oh, so it's me that needs to, right.
It will be, won't it? Because you'll be the one who'll be sharing your screen, so it's got what it looks like on your screen.
Record whatever's, right, okay, that makes sense, I think.
And that would also explain why the recording looked different to what I'd done on my screen.
Right.
Wouldn't it? Yeah, so try that if you can when you screen share. Because, yeah, you're set up to screen share. Oh, no, you are, but I did not click it on the... Where the fuck's the... I'll give you a spotlight. Where's the screen sharing ability? Thing gone. Basic, advanced it was under, wasn't it? No, it wasn't. It was under basic. Right, this is taking the piss now. Optimize for video clip, share sound. Click those ones. Why? You better try and share something a second.
No, I'm disabled. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
I haven't. I'm going to have to remove the spotlight a second. Let's see if that's got something to do with it. Now I can get into the, which I couldn't before. Spotlight for everyone. Make host, rename.
On the share screen button.
There we go. One participant can share at a time. Yeah. Which, according to this, it's set up so it can do. One participant can share a data. Who can share? Oh, for fuck's sake. I put it on all participants yesterday and it's decided who can start sharing when someone else is sharing. Who can share participants? That's it. Right, so you should now, I'll put you back in again.
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Can. Right.
Spotlight my video. What's that?
I clicked save and I thought it would have saved the settings from yesterday.
Oh, definite. Right. This is odd because now I've got. Right. How do I? Active, hide thumbnail. Right. It's all right. I've got more. Record meeting info. Hi. So I've literally got one screen that is.
That is what?
I'm wondering whether I want to be running this on one screen. Because I've got like down the side on one monitor and then I've got the full show on the other.
I've no idea what you're on about.
Right, I'm going to try doing this. Right, I'm guessing that I am.
Wolf howling at the moon.
Yeah, you don't want that. Right, stop share. Right, let's try this then. Let's go up to there. Let's go to there. Share screen. Share that, and I move that out of the way. So that's probably going to be the problem. Hit that. And hit that. But I can't see anybody's photos now because I'm on full screen. So that makes sense.
Well, you can't see anybody.
No.
Right.
Well, what I can do is I can do that maybe. No idea if that's going to work or not, but I've got videos. it comes to it, record the audio and I can provide the document as PDF afterwards.
Well, it'll record the audio and it'll record that's on screen now. It doesn't matter about being able to see people, does it?
No, you don't need to see people at all.
It's just I've got. Do I need to see people? No, not really. It's just,
No, you don't. Really.
don't know if that's going to show up, but
I've just screenshotted that. I'll try and WhatsApp it you in a minute.
that's what I'm working off now.
Yeah, I can't see that clear enough. Big enough.
Right. Because there's a way of screen sharing with a split screen, isn't there?
No fucking idea. I've found out how to screen share recently.
Well, you can. That's what I mean. You can screen share side by side, can't you?
Yeah, you can, but
One sharing options, one participant share at a time, multiple participants can share simultaneously. Dual monitors recommended. Yeah, I haven't got it ticked though.
Not dual monitors. I mean for multiple WhatsApps.
No, it says on here that for sharing more than one person sharing a screen, that they advise multiple monitors. Dual monitors recommended, apparently. Oh.
Right. We will get that.
Right. Hello.
Tell you what it'll be. It'll be my settings because it's probably reset. Share screen. Side by side mode. That's what I want.
Where the frig you found that?
In settings.
What settings?
You know, if you go to video in the up arrow.
Ah, okay. Yeah, right. Ah, okay.
The only thing is that now I'm life isn't normally this difficult. Somebody's stolen my escape key.
What, off your computer?
Yeah, it's over on the wrong side for some reason. Work that out. Right, we are going to get this done. Right.
hey,
Share screen. Share that screen there. Basic, advanced, portion of screen. Right, that'll work. Share. I want to share this with you. Guys, I found a way around it. If I then do that, can you now see the slideshow?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Right, we're good to go then.
Let's
We've
just
got everybody here.
give it another 5 minutes because People who said last night they were coming aren't here yet.
I know Carl, was it?
Before, yeah.
Yeah, he said that you couldn't make it today.
I've just sent you a WhatsApp of what I can see on screen.
Oh, fantastic. Right, that'll do. I mean, feel free to move my face if you want to see the website address, but
No website address on screen hidden by people's faces.
there is on Darren's.
Oh, well, that's up to him to put his arrow on top of the black line where people are, press and move us around the screen if he wants.
But I'm on the iPad.
Ah, you can't do that then.
No.
I can see map webinar Tuesday the 19th of January 2021. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see the web address at the bottom?
www.elitehypnosis. Well, your face is just covering it where it is, but yeah.
Right. It'll be fine. We'll get there.
But if your face isn't covering it on your screen, Stu,
Yeah.
it won't cover it on the recording.
Right. Brilliant.
That's what confused me today. But it's because it recorded what was on your screen.
Yeah.
Because it was you that was doing the screencast, not me, on the bit where I moved it around on the slides. Right, well, there was talk that we might not have recorded it. Well, it's a good job we bloody are, because that's the only way that 30 odd people in the group are going to see it.
Oh, we'll get there. It's 10 past. Should we make a start?
I'll just unmute. Yeah, well, not that many supposed to be coming. I'll mute myself.
I'll mute myself.
If anyone else shows up, it's set, so it'll just let them in, but automatically mute them on entry, so it'll be fine. Otherwise, I'll get the recording up first thing in the morning and just email the link to everybody that's in the group, all 30 odd people. And now that Facebook's unbanned me from posting in other groups, I've got half of mine to post it for free in a few hypno groups. And just because I'll upload it to Vimeo, all I have to do then, if I say this is literally, you've got to watch this within the next like 3 days or something, all I have to do is go on Vimeo then 3 days later and change the setting from anyone with a link to private.
Yeah.
And then they won't be able to access it then.
Okay.
So, if I put it in like 20 hypno groups, fuck knows, might get some sales. You might get some printing work, some website work.
Yeah.
Certainly won't if I don't. So yeah. So as you've already screen shared, I'll just be a disembodied voice for those people who are looking at this as a recording. If you are just hearing a disembodied voice, or you actually can see me somewhere on a box, depending on how it looks on Stuart Cassell's screen at his end, which is what we'll be recording tonight, is the bonus event covering marketing, advertising, publicity and promotion, which conveniently spells out MAPP, map, how to put yourself on the map. It's Tuesday the 19th of January 2021, which is coincidentally why it says that on the screen. So please welcome another disembodied voice, although at some point I imagine you will see him on screen as well. Your host for this evening and presenter, Mr. Stuart Cassells.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the MAP webinar. We're going to be going through marketing. We're going to be going through a lot of technical tricks to make your life easier as a hypnotherapist, as a stage hypnotist. In fact, in a number of different ways. You can take a lot of these skills and transfer them to other areas of your life as well. First of all, what qualifies me to talk to you this evening? I've been a hypnotherapist for 10, 12 years probably, if not longer. And got into it through meeting Jonathan Royle, Alex, at a show that he performed at a nightclub I was working at many years ago. We had a chat and turned out that we both had an interest in magic. He rolled his eyes a bit when I said I had an interest in magic. And then when I started name dropping, he realized that I wasn't just a bit of a freak. So, many years ago, I ended up with a copy of Photoshop. I say a copy, a genuine edition. That sounds dodgy as hell. And in some time off work, after working for an events company for a number of years, I started learning Photoshop. My artwork has been published in various books, magazines, newspapers, etc. I, as I say, run a hypnotherapy business. I also run a tarot business.
I'm butting in only because he was too modest to tell you that he's actually won awards for his Photoshop work.
Yes, I have won awards. Thank you. So enough about me. Let's get on with the slides. I want to talk to you about the insanity system today. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Apparently Albert Einstein said that. If you're not getting the results you want off your website, if you're not getting the results you want off your marketing, then if you're doing the same thing, you're not going to get different results. However, the second definition of insanity is doing a different thing every time and expecting the same result. If it's working for you, don't change it. Albert Einstein never said that, by the way. So immediately I want to get on to CMT scripts and tricks. If you've studied this week with us, you will now be qualified in complete mind therapy with Jonathan Royle. If you haven't studied with us and you're watching the replay, then do contact Jonathan at www.facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist for CMT, which is, in my mind, the best method of solving people's problems using hypnosis. Over the years, I've come up with a few tricks that I like to use when I'm seeing it. By the way, CMT is basically the only method I use to see clients now because I'm lazy and I don't want to learn anything else. So first of all, laminate your script, folks. Keep it nice and quiet. If you're reading from a script, laminating is absolutely ideal. It means you can turn the pages without them rustling, without making a noise. So your client doesn't know that you're actually reading from a piece of paper. There are auto cue apps available for phones and iPads, etc. There's one that I found a while back that basically runs through the script once you've loaded it and follows your voice. So instead of it being like Dragon dictation software, this actually recognizes your voice and then follows the existing script. If you go off script at any point in time, say you're mentioning somebody's name, and then return to the script, it will pick up where you were with a little, almost like a bouncy ball that you get on karaoke nights. Makes reading the script a lot easier. So if you've got an iPad, have a look at the auto cue apps. A lot of them are out there for free. Up until last year, QR codes were almost obsolete. Now, they're popular, they're well known, they're trusted. If you want to share a recording with somebody, you can host it on Google Drive, you can host it elsewhere for them to download, and you can show them a QR code that they can scan and immediately download that file. No need for really difficult links to be followed. They don't have to log into their email address or anything else or click on anything. They can just literally point their camera at a QR code and download the recording that you want to give them. So there are obviously risks associated with sharing links to your Dropbox, Google Drive, etc. Please do check what's going on at the time when you're doing that. But if you want to create a QR code, go to www.qr-code-generator.com. By the way, guys, no need to write all this down. There is a PDF to accompany today with a load of links. Similar with MP3s and ebooks. If you've got them, you can host them on Dropbox.
Have you
can
put
create
the
PayPal.
have you already put the PDF in the group?
Not yet.
All right,
Just
but will you in the morning? So that
I will do it probably tonight. I'm just making
All right.
sure I haven't forgotten any links that I want to add in
Just
before.
making sure for people who watch the recording. Excellent.
Yeah. So that will be in the group either tonight or first thing tomorrow. And by first thing, I mean lunchtime. So you can create a PayPal button on your website. If you haven't got a website, go to Elite Hypnosis websites.co.uk or see the links for the Elite Hypnosis website kit. You can create a PayPal button in PayPal that will then redirect once payments have been received to a hidden website page or direct to Dropbox or Google Drive. Again, there are risks. It is very easy to find these hidden pages if you know what you're doing, which means that people can access your products for free if you're not careful. There's also Selfie, Etsy. There's a new one on the block called Buy Me a Coffee, which we'll get to later. One that I have just signed up for myself and I'll be playing around with very soon. And of course, you've got Amazon self-publishing Kindle. So let's talk about domains. www. or what the. Big question when you're choosing a domain, you've got to choose it carefully. So I'll put this up just for the smile on Alex's face, and he's not even reacting. Are you selling whistles or a niche variety act? Yes, Mike Hunt Whistles. I thought that would amuse you there, Alex. But it just goes to show that it is easy. That's been photoshopped, I believe, but it is easy to come up with a domain name. And I think we've all done something very similar. We've looked at domain names and thought that'd be a good name for a website. And then somebody else has come along and said, that could be misconstrued, that could be misinterpreted. It's the classic cartoon. Therapist is one word, George, as he's writing it on the door. You've got to ask yourself, is your domain name likely to end up on a parody site? Is it easy to spell? I've seen so many people have to spell out website addresses that are so complicated because they've got extra letters or numbers or underscores or hyphens. Is it easy to remember? You know, if they don't write it down there and then if they don't bookmark it, will they remember it in a week's time? As we said yesterday, is your domain name say more about you than your client? Is it egocentric or is it client-centric? The same with your email address. Talk about email addresses. I don't think I mentioned it yesterday. If any of you that have been on this weekend's course in a month's time have an email address that's a Google address, Gmail, FreeServe, anything that hasn't got your own domain name on, I'll be very upset. Absolutely no need for it. You get free emails or free email addresses with your domain name, as long as you book with a decent company such as D9, see the PDF. But absolutely no need for Google email addresses, etc. It's the same as having mobile phone numbers. which we covered yesterday. The £10 phobia trick. Alex has covered a lot of this yesterday. It's something that I now do with all my phobia clients. They get a small MP3 that costs currently $14.99. The prices haven't changed. It's preloaded with a CMT recording. It's got the earphones with it, and still sealed in a pack. Batteries are included. It's fully charged, ready to go, and the receipt is stuck to the box. I remove the receipt as I give the clients the box with the MP3 player in. It's a 4 gig MP3 player. There's absolutely no need for it to be that large, but that's the smallest, cheapest one I've found. And it means that if a client is going on holiday and has a phobia of flying, they can be given something as a gift that they're not expecting. I don't tell them that it's going to happen before they see me. It's given to them at the end of the session as a little bit of a gift, a present, if you like.
If you're tight-fisted, something that looks exactly like that but doesn't say Bush on it, you'll get for less than a £5, and even cheaper if you order, say, half a dozen at once. Because you'll have to wait a few weeks for them to come from China off AliExpress.
Right, there you go. But then again, if you're charging a decent fee, obviously, if you're charging, you know, £35 to see your client, and you don't want to be spending $14.99 on an MP3 player. But then again, if you're charging £35 to see a client, then I wish you all the best. There are people out there doing it still. I found another one the other day, £35 an hour. Ridiculous. So that's the phobia trick. How to get onto page 1 of Google. Quite important. I'm going to whiz through a lot of these. You can always pause the video and watch read all the stuff afterwards. But basically, a lot of people can't or don't trust Google Ads. And Google Ads can take up a fair bit of page 1, depending on where you are. Working with Google Ads can be expensive if you don't know what you're doing, and it can be time consuming. So how do we do it? You add your business to Google Maps for free. Google.com/business will get you on that map. As you can see, we've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, and a couple of extra under more places, but it's one way of almost guaranteeing that you're going to be on page 1 of Google by dropping a pin in the map and telling Google that your business exists. Obviously, Google loves fresh, original content with good keywords. There is a wonderful plugin called Yoast SEO WP plugin. If you've got WordPress sites, and you should be analyzing your site regularly to find out what works. So, analytics.google.com. Once you've told Google your site exists and you've got a webmaster account, you can compare site visitor traffic to find out how that's doing. You can find out which pages are popular, where traffic's coming from, what people are looking for when they go and find your site, which means that, for instance, if you're getting thousands of hits on your site, but they're all looking for fetish hypnosis solutions, but you're not a fetish hypnotist, then I would suggest that maybe you need to look at the content on your site or the backlinks, etc. There's something wrong, but it's worthwhile having a look at analytics.google.com. Blogging is another way to get fresh content on your site. So, you know, regularly, and we're not talking, you don't have to do it every day, but, you know, reviews, news, photographs, etc. Social media obviously works, backlinks to your site, so linking from social media to your site. And Google also loves sites that have links to other relevant sites. That doesn't mean that you have to link to other hypnotherapists, but sites with a similar interest. If you're ever stuck for something to write about on your blog, wonderful tool called hubspot.com/blog topic generator. Again, the links are in the PDF. Right, we're going to get to something a little bit that I'm quite passionate about, professional looking content. First of all, spell check everything. Another one for Alex. For your safety, due to the carnivorous, we will not be able to open the pool this season, and pastrami on a beagle as opposed to a bagel. Both of those were taken from a Facebook group earlier today. Sign shrine if you're really bored at some point. It just goes to show how, both of those wouldn't actually come up on a spell check, but they do point out the need to have somebody check your site for you. Another issue, can an idiot navigate your site and find what they need? It's one of my pet hates. My other half will spend ages looking around a site trying to find something. I don't know what it is, but I can normally go onto a site and click where I need to find things, but obviously not everybody can. And, if they're looking for a particular page, can they find it in the menu? Does your menu make sense? Are links obvious? Do they show up against the rest of the text? Are your contact details easily found? That's the most important thing, really, I think. And is it accessible for your ideal client? Clear, readable text. So nothing too fancy, nothing too scrolly and handwriting looking. And alt tags for the visually impaired. Every time you put a photo in, put in an alt tag, tell Google what that photo is so that it can be referenced. It also helps your search engine optimization. So, images for your sites and social media. I think we'll all agree that that is probably not the image you want to be shown on your website, unless it's relevant in a blog, perhaps to the client that once saw a hypnotherapist and it all went wrong. Every image you choose should be carefully selected every time. Is there a better image that you could use? Only source images from reputable places such as the Elite Hypnosis website kit, Pixabay, which is Pixabay, which has has thousands upon thousands of royalty-free images that you're allowed to use for your business without even having to pay for it or give credit. Don't steal images, folks. It does get a little bit boring when I see posters that I've designed for professional hypnotherapy or hypnotists ending up being used by other stage hypnotists, where they've literally just got some Tipex and blanked out somebody's name and put their own name, and it happens regularly around the world. I even saw one hypnotist share my own artwork on several forums and claim it was his own recently, until I pointed out that that was easily solved because I have the original artwork. He told me I was lying, and at which point I also mentioned that my name was embedded in the image very carefully, and he didn't realize. Add location tags. This is something new, certainly to me. Every time you put a photo up, especially if you're looking for local business, and I know that at the moment that isn't necessarily an issue, you want to be going to a site called tool.geoimage.com. That's TOOL.geoimgr.com. Again, we've put that in the PDF for you. That allows you to actually put a location tag into your image, so that if you take a photo that you didn't originally shoot, you can then tell Googled that it was taken in a location close to home or close to your therapy rooms, which makes your site a little bit more popular to a local audience. Again, we talked about adding alt tags in WordPress. And if you've got original content, share it on Pinterest. Be surprised how many hits that will get. Just go and have a look on Pinterest for, if you search for things like magic playing cards. I've got a board up there that's got all sorts of crafty ideas and so on, but I'm also sharing my products on Redbubble through Pinterest, and I'm getting quite a few hits and interest on that because playing card socks are being found by people who are searching for playing card crafts, etc. Maybe for themed events. So yeah, share content on Pinterest, make sure it's been tagged properly, there's a decent description. It'll take seconds for you to do, but it might bring in a client, it might bring in hundreds of clients, you never know. Does the image match your message? Again, another one found on Sign Shrine. Most of the images found today have been done like that. Obviously, if you've got an image next to text, you want the image to match the text. And more importantly, what does your photos say about you? Now, this is something that both Alex and I have discussed at great length over the years. The photos that are used by a lot of hypnotherapists are bloody awful. Just go and have a look. Whatever you do after today, just go and do some research on your local therapists and just see how good or bad the competition is, and have a look at their own photos. I think you'd agree that that probably is not the photo for a hypnotherapist. When you're taking a photo, you should consider what the background is. You should consider your poses, the clothing you're wearing, the facial expressions, even the lighting. Don't search camera rolls or your mobile phone camera for something that will suffice. You know, photo of you out in a nightclub with a couple of beers if you want to promote alcohol substance cessation, etc. Even make an effort, have a photo shoot. It's worthwhile. And remember, eyes are the windows to the soul. Somebody told me recently. I love that piece, and that's somebody that's really big on social media. Shared that. So, avoid funny angles and expressions. That isn't Darren, by the way. It looks like Darren, though, doesn't it? He's laughing. All these photos at this point forward have been taken from Pixabay. They are royalty free, and I have the right to use them. So I was so tempted to go through some hypnotherapy websites and steal their photos for examples, but I thought better of it. I thought that might make me a bit of a hypocrite. So yeah, avoid funny angles and expressions. There's no need for it unless it matches the content of your site and what you're selling. Right. Avoid fancy dress and props. I mean, don't dress like a chimney sweep or somebody off whatever it's called. What's it called? Peaky Blinders, unless it's relevant, unless that's your target audience that you want to appeal to, and you think that perhaps maybe dressing as a chimney sweep or having a big knife, and that second photo is so dark and dreary anyhow. It's not really selling you, is it? Make sure the photo matches the message. So in the first photo, it's not really selling success and how to get off drink and drugs, maybe. And the second one wouldn't exactly be ideal if that was the hypnotherapist who's going to stop you from smoking. Avoid controversial subjects. So it's the old one, don't talk about football, religion, or politics on your therapy website. And is the client seeing you today? Or is that photo 30 years old? And again, yeah, we've seen it before where Hypnotherapists have a photo of them on their website that is so out of date. You might not think that it matters because you might think, well, I look better in that photo than I do today. But this is all about trust. If they turn up and you're a completely different person to the photo on your website because the photo's 30 years old, is there really the trust and rapport that you're expecting with the client from the immediate start of your session? I would say probably not. Makeup and any Photoshop that's done on the photo should be subtle. Obviously, those aren't photos from a therapy website, but you get the idea. And it's not Facebook. You're not selling holidays. I don't want to see your holiday shots on your therapy site. It's not really, unless again, it's relevant. Obviously, if you've got something to sell and the photo matches that, great. Otherwise, please avoid it. Another one, out of focus photos, Instagram style filters, that sort of thing. It's a no-no. Leave those sort of trendy photos for Instagram, for Facebook, and that sort of thing. There's no need for photos to be all dreamy and that. And my biggest issue ever, photos in the bathroom. Some of you might think that I'm lying. Plenty of them about. Literally, I mean, maybe not looking like this. That's a rather extreme example, but I have seen people who have taken photos in their bathroom with bathroom towels behind and even bottles of shampoo poking out of the corner. And yeah, it happens. So yeah, don't have a look for photos and see what's there. Ideally, if you can afford it, if you've got the time and you're able to, a professional photo shoot would be ideal. Be looking at one in a studio, or in your therapy rooms, ideal, or outside, that would work. Plan your locations. Have 2 or 3 outfits taken with you so that your photographer can advise. Research good and bad images and show the good and bad images to the photographer and tell them what you're expecting from this. I would say that you're looking for a minimum of 30 photos to choose from afterwards, but you want to be asking for all the photos. And you want to say this up front so that you can come to a deal with pricing, etc. Photos of, I mean, these are some of the photos we did for Alex, who isn't actually there in the room, strangely enough. Did a photo shoot with Alex for another project. This wasn't for his website, but you get the idea. These aren't particularly ones I would recommend for your websites, but they work for him. More there. You can see that we've got different locations, different backgrounds, etc. So, finding and creating content. Clients need to see content. They need to find you. So how do you create it? You want to be going to a site called answerthepublic.com. You type in your subject word and it will come up with a lot of questions that people are asking and other options. I haven't given you the full results there. Go and have a look at answerthepublic.com for lots and lots of different results. It'll tell you who, where, when, what, how. How does hypnosis work? Why does hypnosis work? Who was the first hypnotist, etc. And again, that link is in the PDF, answerthepublic.com. A new one that I found, it may not be a news site, is soovle.com. That's SOOVLE.com, which will, when you type in a word, will bring up results for up to 15 different search engines including eBay, Yahoo, Bing, YouTube. So you type in hypnotherapy and it will give you results of what people are searching for. So they may be looking for, apparently in buy.com, they're searching for hypnotherapy in Sheffield. There's, yeah, and you do get different results or different queries for different websites. You can use this to choose a niche, or certainly tighten up on a niche. And you can use some of these phrases that people are searching for on your site, social media, blogs, etc., which will help a little with search engine optimization. So the $1,000 video cheat that I still can't get my head around, how to make videos cheap and cheerful. What you're going to require is you're going to need to go to Pixabay and choose all your images. You may need a website called GIMP. That isn't anything to do with fetishes. That is to do with image manipulation. We've got the link again in the PDF. However, it's Photoshop, but on the cheap. You're going to need a microphone. You're going to need Google Slides, which is a free version of PowerPoint, and Flashback Express Recorder, which is a screen recorder. And this will allow you to create slides, which you can then scroll through, record your voice over, and output as a video. Now, this isn't going to be record breaking. It isn't going to be the quality of Alex's Extreme Danger, Extreme Hypnosis documentary, but it will suffice if you need to shit out a YouTube video very quickly or have something on your website and you don't want to be paying the videographer lots and lots of money. So what you do is literally you set up your slides in Google Slides, such as this. You grab images as your background, put text over it, etc. You would have transitions set so that the pages scroll seamlessly from one to another, whether they fade in and out or they move across the screen slowly, whichever's right for you. And you have your message. And then you start recording from the beginning with your voice. So you would start with something along the lines of, don't eat crap. Carbonated drinks are bad for you. Refined sugar is even worse and is found in so many different foods. Are you addicted to refined sugar? If you would like the secrets to cutting out artificial foods, processed meats, etc., with just 4 one-hourly online sessions with complete mind therapist Dr. Jonathan Royle, you can be eating the healthier foods that you know your body deserves. Contact Jonathan Royle today for a healthier future tomorrow with your website, etc. So there you go. Obviously, you wouldn't have Elite Hypnosis websites in the bottom corner. You'd start off with a blank.
If you hadn't said that bit about the end with your website on, I could have just chopped that at the front and the end when the recording's there, and I would have had the video.
Well, there you go. I'll record a video for you. Don't worry about it. It's ready. It's almost done. And we've got the ACMT logo there. If you're not a member of the ACMT, the Association of Complete Mind Therapists, have a word with Alex at facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist and join the boot camp. You won't regret it. Oh, whilst we're on logos, let's just go off on one. There seems to be a habit that people are going, oh, you haven't got the such and such logo on your website. Let's be honest, the only people who give a damn about the logos on your website and what they actually mean and which associations you belong to are other hypnotherapists. Now, I know that's going to upset a few people, people that belong to certain organizations, but I have never yet had somebody ring me up and go, are you a member of such and such an organization? And if I say no, they've turned around and gone, well, I won't be going with you because only reputable hypnotherapists belong to that. And, you know, it's a waste. Get a decent logo on your website like the ACMT, use it. Don't worry about all the other ones unless they're going to promise to bring you work. Social media. I'm not going to go through all the facts and figures of social media. I don't think anybody wants to go through all of that. But all we need to say is that the average person spends 3 hours a day on social media and messaging. Quite a frightening figure. It's a good way of catching clients, though. So if you want to read all that, pause the video and go back. Big questions. First of all, why are therapist pages so popular with other therapists? I must actually have liked 20, 30, 40, possibly therapist pages in the past. It seems to be the big thing. The reason is that a lot of people don't want to be seen liking a therapist's page because it admits to them and their friends that they've got a problem. A hypnotherapist should be a one-stop shop. They should come to you, they should see you, they should be treated, they should leave. There should be no reason for them to like your page and keep up to date with your business. It's not like you're a cake shop or a bakery or a garage or a takeaway or anything like that where pages are good. Groups are good, but that's another story. We'll get onto that. Social media expert once told me that Twitter is like Facebook, but for people with money. Now, Twitter is at the moment showing a very big decrease in activity. Sorry, I'm seeing Alex doing something and I'm just wondering what the hell he's doing. His exercises in the corner of my eye. LinkedIn. If you haven't got LinkedIn or you're not on LinkedIn, it's brilliant. It's not just about showing your CV. A lot of people upload their CV and that's it. If you start sharing content on LinkedIn, you're more likely to get corporate work and get connections. I think somebody once said it's 90% of LinkedIn accounts are static and haven't posted anything in months. So why not be the 10% that's creating good content so that people will connect with you? And finally, one for Darren here, TikTok. It's not just for dancing. So, social media content creation, how do you do it? First of all, you set up Google News Alerts. You go onto Google, you type in news, you type in your subject, hypnotherapy, I'm guessing, and you find what's going on. And you see what everybody else is doing. I'm not saying copy them exactly, but you're looking for opportunities. You're looking for ways of leveraging things. About a year, maybe 2 years ago, there was an article in the press about tattoos and pain. And a hypnotherapist jumped onto that and started offering a pain-free tattoo solution, which went down very well. Obviously, if there's a news article about snakes in your local area, that would be a great opportunity to approach your local newspaper, radio station, TV company, and say that you can help people with their phobia of snakes, especially if it's one person. You know, lady gets stuck in the house for 3 days because there's a snake in her garden. She can't leave because she's got a phobia. And then the RSPCA rescued the snake. Well, what you do then is you approach the paper and go, oh, I read that article and I'd like to offer a free session so that she never has to go through that again. Look for as many opportunities as possible. Keep contacting the papers, because eventually when the papers are looking for a story on hypnotherapy or hypnosis, they will come to you. It is important to share good content. So, you know, sharing content of other people that is of interest, brilliant. Avoid politics, etc., unless you're that sort of hypnotherapist that can get away with it. As we said, use great photos and graphics to support any posts that you've got. Link to your site or blog where appropriate, and play with the percentages. So if you're on Twitter, you might want to be having 70% of your tweets, 90% of your tweets being quality information, engaging content, maybe only 10 to 30% with a sales link. Because people don't want to follow accounts that are just selling things. And as always, same with your website, you want to be analyzing, you want to be adapting, you want to be rinsing, you want to be repeating. Find out what works. It's the insanity system. So let's get on to TikTok. It's just for dancing kids. Well, this might surprise you folks. So TikTok is a destination for short form mobile videos. Our mission is to capture and present the world's creativity, knowledge, and precious life moments directly from the mobile phone. That's not strictly true now. They do allow you to have a desktop app where you can edit your videos on a computer and then upload from the desktop app. But TikTok enables everyone to be a creator and encourages users to share their passion and creative expression through their videos. Well, we have a minor TikTok celebrity in the audience this evening, folks. Darren has recently uploaded a video that has had 672,000 plus views. So that's well over 500,000 people around the world that have watched his video. And that video alone has got him a lot of followers overnight. If you want to follow him, it's a brand new account. It's Darren Lee Magic Show. Worthwhile having a look for. So that's obviously not hypnotherapy, that's magic, but something like Paul Daniels there. That's magic. So yeah, have a look at Darren, follow him. Absolutely brilliant. So whilst we're using the word creator, because that's the name that they use to define those people that are uploading content, there are going to be people out there that tell you, oh, join the creator fund. They'll pay you to put videos up. Absolute bollocks. What they'll actually pay you is about 4 cents or 3 pence per 1,000 views. Now let's put that into context. Okay, those 3 cents or 4 cents, 3 pence per 1,000 views would mean that if you wanted, as a creator just starting out, and the idea is that it's, you know, you can use this money to create bigger and better videos. If you wanted to buy a ring light that cost you £60 from Argos, you would have to have 2 million views to earn that 60 quid. That's a hell of a lot of views. You know, there are rumours, rightly or wrongly, that TikTok throttle your viewing figures if you sign up to the Creator Fund, so they don't have to pay you as much. I don't know if that's true or not, but personally, don't think it's worth it, and I've been advised against joining it myself, so I haven't. It is the second most popular free apps download from last year, or 2019. It's had 1 billion active users worldwide. That's estimated this month. 1 billion active worldwide users. And the average user spends roughly 52 minutes a day on the platform. Okay. The younger crowd, up to 80 minutes a day on the app. It is definitely something that you want to be looking at. But I hear you say. It's for dancing, it's for singing, it's not for me. I'm a hypnotherapist. Well, here we go. Well, you can pause that if you want to read it. Let's say about James Samuel, magician, BGT finalist, who has now hit these figures are today, over 700,000 genuine followers in just 10 months. He's had 50,000 followers in the past week, 3.5 million likes on his videos. He hasn't used any advertising or cross-platform posting to get those. This is purely organic. He doesn't use expensive filming equipment, very minimal editing, and he gets regular brand deal inquiries from companies such as Reese's, the people who do the peanut butter cups, and ASUS, etc. And most importantly, he has his contact info in his bio, as you can see there, email, and also a link to his Instagram. He's doing quite well at the moment. We've got San Diego Zoo. They've got 1.8 million followers, 23 million likes, etc. And at the moment, their videos are getting between 200 and 830,000 views. That's for a 1-minute video in the past month. That's quite impressive, but what good is that for a hypnotherapist? Well, if you could be associated with that account, if you get some work through that account, you might want that to be able to access 1.8 million followers, 23 million likes, and between 200 and 800,000 views in a month. Oh, let's see what we can do about that. We'll come back to that. People are using TikTok for education. Those of you having a look will notice that the figures on screenshots don't quite add up. I didn't actually upload it. This is a guy who teaches grammar, spelling, punctuation, etymology. He's doing very well. He's got nearly 600,000 followers, and all he's doing is teaching English. Must admit, his content is extremely interesting, and I follow him myself. But yeah, absolutely brilliant and well worth looking at. So if educators can get those sort of figures, 600,000 followers, 6.2 million likes, maybe there's nothing to stop you from doing that. Or is there? Could a hypnotherapist or life coach or similar hit those sort of figures? I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Julie Smith, who I don't believe is any relation to Alex William Smith, the hypnotist. Might be. She's a psychologist on TikTok, and she has 2.5 million followers, 25.4 million likes. This month, her view count has been up to 2.4 million views per video. The videos are bright, clear, they're vibrant, they're lively, they've got text across the screen. So they're easy and clear to understand. She's got a link in her bio, and if you look at the second page, that is her link tree, which is a great way of having multiple links on one address, where you can then find her on Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and even her website. But she's giving away a free course. And as we've mentioned before, free items such as courses lead to sales because people love free items and they get to know you that way. Some of you may have wondered why I'm doing this tonight. Penny may have dropped for some of you. So social media doesn't have to be a full-time job. There are ways and means of automating it. You can save potential content. You don't have to post it immediately. Save links somewhere, either on your phone, have a little notepad, little folder somewhere for future tweets, future Facebook posts, etc. I've created social media diary for myself, which is in Google Docs as a spreadsheet, where literally I've got 12 tabs and I've got dates going down and I've got all sorts going on. So I know that certain dates are saints' days, so I can post about them. I've got things for anniversaries, people's birthdays, etc. So I can make posts as I need to just by opening up that spreadsheet, looking at the relevant month tab and seeing what's written there. And I can build that up. So if I found somebody else has posted something, say the 100th anniversary of sawing a lady in half, I can add that to the spreadsheet for next year, and I can reference the fact that it's the 101st anniversary. You can use software such as TweetDeck, which is, again, the link is in the bio, for scheduling posts so that you can spend maybe a couple of hours setting up all your tweets for a full week, full month if you want. And again, you may have tweets saved in your spreadsheet from the previous year that you knew was successful, so you could copy and paste them again. And there's a site called If This Then That, which is ifttt.com. Again, the link is in the PDF, where if you post on one thing, the site will recognize it and it will retweet, it will share that tweet to Facebook, Instagram, etc. So it cuts down your work. I mentioned about the zoo. This is where opportunities come up, where if we look for opportunities and find them, we can harness them, we can make them work for us. Phobia treatment experiences. We've all heard of these experiences days, these red letter days that Virgin, etc. sell. You could do the same with phobias. There's a lady, Morag Torrance, who does a regular event at Edinburgh Zoo when it's open for spiders. Fight your phobias with spiders. £85 per person. Not really the sort of price you'd be looking at for charging one-to-one. If you can get 10 people in the room, that's £850 for the same amount of work as for one. The advantage is that Edinburgh Zoo has, I'm assuming, a collection of spiders that Morag is able to get hold of and use. Maybe they've got specialist handlers there. I don't know, I've not actually been to the event. But you could take that event and mirror it. You could duplicate it, you could make it work for you. Maybe at a zoo, an aquarium, obviously not with spiders, wildlife parks, community farms, even pet shops. Your local pet shop would love a hypnotherapist to come down for the day and treat people for their phobia of lizards, snakes, turtles, hamsters even. Imagine the press that you get off that. And it's the ideal place for mum and dad to then have to buy the child that hamster, snake, gerbil, whichever it is. It will get you TV, radio and newspaper publicity for both you and the venue. Obviously, there are no room hire fees. You have instant proof of success. And you can become the perceived expert, which again leads to good SEO, TV work, books, and DVD potential. Let's talk about recommended software for hypnotherapists now. We're on 9 o'clock. Again, links are in the PDF. I mentioned GIMP, GNU Image Manipulation Program. It's a free alternative to Photoshop. All these links that are in the PDF, you want to be clicking on every single one of these. They're free, or the majority are free, and they will help your business no end. Instead of spending lots of money, as I have on Photoshop, spend it on, or don't spend it, on GIMP. If you need to manipulate photos, or alternatively, give me a ring, get in touch with me on Facebook, go to the website and ask me to help you design your latest book cover, e-cover, poster, etc. So we've covered Google Docs. Audacity, if you're recording a hypnotherapy track such as CMT, which if you haven't got it, facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist, have a word with him for the CMT audio script. Very easy to use and it's free. Filmora, video editing software that will allow you to create more fancy videos than the ones we were talking about earlier. But again, absolutely brilliant and worth the money, in my opinion. Very easy to use. Now, OBS Studio, something we haven't even discussed yet in regards to Zoom. OBS Studio works as a virtual camera. So you have your webcam working, which then goes through a program called OBS. And then instead of choosing your camera, you choose OBS as the camera. It allows you to add certain graphics to the screen around you. So whilst you're doing a Zoom meeting, you can have across the bottom of the screen permanently your website address. This will work even if you're a guest on somebody else's Zoom call. You can have your website address, you can have graphics at the side of you, set up scenes. Worthwhile having a look at, and can make your Zoom shows or therapy events a little bit more interesting and of course promotional. Google Slides, obviously a free alternative to PowerPoint. It's what we're doing the event today on. And we mentioned Flashback Express Recorder, screen recording software.
Can I just briefly mention before you move on that in the bootcamp, there's a complete step-by-step course on using Filmora software, and there's a complete step-by-step course on using Audacity, and there's a section with a complete step-by-step course on using GIMP.
Brilliant, fantastic. That's what I want to hear. And also there is a step-by-step course on TikTok, I believe.
There is, I forgot about that. Yeah, there's a step-by-step course for every social media platform as well.
Yeah, it's not just about hypnosis, the bootcamp, folks. There is so much more information there on marketing, etc. We are literally scratching the surface today with things. So the Lazy Man's Guide to Writing Your Book, because writing a book makes you an expert, allegedly. I don't know why people think that, but it does establish you as the expert in your field. As we had a look at yesterday, we were talking about snake phobias, and there is somebody who has published a book on dealing with your phobia of snakes, amongst other things. And it could well be that they've created one book and then just changed the word snakes for foxes, for dogs, for dolphins, etc. Bit lazy, but then again, who's gonna know? Nobody's gonna be buying all 10 books that this person's written. Is it lazy or is it genius? I'm not sure. There have been rumours that Paul McKenna's been doing that for many years, but you know, let's you know, again, I've never read any of his books. I have. So the way I would do it is I would create it in Google Docs. Some of you may have realized now I love free software. The reason I love free software is because a lot of software companies such as Microsoft and Adobe have switched over to this. You don't own the software, you're licensing it from us, you're renting it from us by the month. I don't really want to be paying monthly for bits of software if I can find an equivalent for free. So Google Docs is free. It has a wonderful tool in it that does speech to text. So you can literally sit in your chair. If you're no good at typing, you can talk and it turns it into text. Now, it's not perfect. but no piece of software is going to be absolutely 100% accurate all the time. Keep an eye on it, have a chat to your computer, and lo and behold, you could be writing a book. I should have set it up now today, and I could have written a book on marketing and public and promotion tools. That'd have been brilliant. The book would have been written within hours. Self-publishing means that you don't have to order 100 copies of your own book and have stock in, because it's published on demand. The same as Kunaki publishes audio CDs, and even I believe they do vinyl now. I'm not sure that there's much call for, I'm getting a nod on that, but I don't, have you ever considered having CMT on vinyl just for the crack?
I haven't, but there's people, I think it's far more for people who are into music. God knows, but you know, if the revival in vinyl continues to take off, then maybe it could be worth it.
There you go. Yeah, and they literally ship direct to the customer. It's called white label products or white label manufacturing. Plenty of companies out there that do similar things, so that somebody orders something off your website, you then get up in the morning, have a look at the orders, and if you've got lots and lots of orders, you can upload a spreadsheet with them all in database, comma separated value CSV sheet, whichever, and with all the names and addresses, and then Amazon or Kunaki will ship out directly. But the thing with Amazon is people can buy directly off Amazon's website, and people do go shopping, as we all know right now, on Amazon for books. I did hear rumors that if you want to make your book really good and really popular, if you want to get on the bestsellers list on Amazon for physical books, I've heard rumors of people ordering several hundred books of their own just to get it up there for the first week, so they can then redesign the cover and say that they're the #1 in their niche. Whether or not that's true, I don't know. You can do the same with, you can give away books on Kindle for free for a while, or even join the Kindle library project where people rent the books. But that's not something I've tried myself yet.
It appears that if you were to release your Kindle and paperback book identically at the same time, so that they both cross-sell, and that when you set them to publish, you set it to, say, a week of the Kindle version being free, and then bash that around all these groups, free ebook groups on social media, people will go download it, and it registers that it's had shitloads of sales of the Kindle, which will put you at the top, or certainly in the top 10 of the sellers for that category under Kindle. But that will then help also push you up, because it also shows the paperback as well. And on the paperback results, it does take into account, I believe, connected Kindle sales.
Oh, there you go. That's brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to be a worldwide bestseller on a certain subject, give away free Kindle books for a while, and then you can have that little gold rosette on the front cover. Talk about cover designs. Obviously, if you're going to be making cover design, Pixabay is one option using GIMP, or contact this wonderful company called Hypnotic Consultants. That's www.hypnotic-consultants.co.uk. I may or may not know the person who runs that site, and ask them about having your book cover designed. Don't forget, free books sell products and services in the end. Give away something free, and people like it, they'll come back for more. Once they've learned to trust you, once they've learned to see what you've got to give away, they're more likely to buy off you. Just think about your own experiences there and how that works for you. Managing a client list without Aweber. Now, I would suggest that you have an Aweber account set up, but that obviously involves a cost. There is another way of doing this. What you can do is you can use something that all of you have already got. Facebook. You set up Facebook groups. You can invite people to join your group. You can run groups where you have maybe set up a group every month and you drip feed them the same information each month on how to lose weight, how to stop smoking. You might have Paul's top 10 tips for living a healthier lifestyle and just drip feed them once a day with a new post. And then there'll be the upsell at the end. The upsell, of course, is that you can invite them to your therapy rooms, or you can invite them onto a Zoom call or a Facebook call, as is now available. I don't know what Facebook's. I've always had problems with Facebook video broadcasting. It's not stable.
I've never had issues with it.
I'm
Perfectly
finding
fine.
right. I'm finding a lot of them when I log in. Facebook is really slow compared to Zoom. Quality's a lot different, but you know, Calderon's, their karaoke sing-along nights, a little bit of an issue, but that's just my. So go with whichever platform suits you best. I know Google has Hangouts or whatever it's called now. Quite happy with Zoom now. I've got it all set up the way I want it. Although screen sharing is a new skill that I'm learning. So yeah, get them in the group, give them daily, weekly, monthly information, whatever it's going to be. Set them tasks, and then invite them to your Zoom call, and you can put them in the group for free, and then charge them if they want to join the Zoom call, or use the details that Alex mentioned yesterday on the course on what to do if they don't want to spend money joining you for a Zoom call. You can get 50 to 100 people in the room without a problem, and then take it from there. Little thought on Zoom, and I know that it's something that we're probably all guilty of at some point or another, is we give out the links, we give out the passwords, and everybody joins. If you've got 100 clients that have paid you through Eventbrite to join your event, and one of those 100 clients then goes and shares that link with half a dozen friends, that link is identical for everybody. It's something that I think Zoom and Eventbrite ought to get together and sort. But it's one link for the event, which means that if you've sold 100 tickets and those 6 people that have got the link get in first, you could end up with 6 people that can't get in the room because your Zoom account is limited to 100 people. Something worth looking at. There are ways and means around that. That is down to, well, have a look in the boot camp at the Zoom training. I will be after today, and see how it works.
On a side note, anyone who does get Aweber, as Jerome's just put in the chat box, you can initially have a free plan with them. It's just that when you get over a certain few hundred sign-ups, that then you have to start paying. But to be honest, if you've got 100 people on a mailing list who've signed up for a free ebook, and you can't monetize that to at least make you one sale of, say, $30 per calendar month, which will cover you for up to certainly up to 1,000. It's more than 1,000, but the next level, and then subsequently more. The more you get, the more you should be able to generate. Then you're not doing it right. And in that regard, there's a full training course in the boot camp on using Aweber, strangely enough.
There you go. So again, if you're not on in the boot camp, there's another reason to join. I don't make any money out of boot camp sales. I might ask for an affiliate link one day. Well, I don't on this call anyhow, but I do certainly have an affiliate code for boot camp sales elsewhere because I rate it. I think it's absolutely brilliant, and why the hell wouldn't I tell people how wonderful it is? I'd do it, whether I was making money out of it or not. But yeah, affiliate marketing, another way of making money, but we'll get onto that. So, seeing as we're on Facebook groups, yeah, create a Facebook group. Give it a really good title, put in some good graphics, share some really good information. Where'd you get the good information from? Well, there's resources in the boot camp that you can use to generate that information. Obviously, don't be showing anything that's copyrighted that you haven't got the rights to. There's all sorts of ways and means that you can do that. Drip feed them, give them 1 tip a day on stop smoking, losing weight, etc. Give them plans, give them tasks, give them encouragement. Then invite them onto your call, your Zoom call, which normally to see you in person would be £250 per person. But of course, you can't see them in person right now. So they can see you on Zoom from anywhere in the world, from the comfort of their own room, for just whatever you want to charge, £50. I wouldn't take it any lower than, I think £50 is probably about the right figure for weight loss, stop smoking, etc. on Zoom. If obviously you can get more out of them, great. I certainly wouldn't be charging any less than £30. There are people out there that are charging £30 for a seat to see a show live, magicians and comedians, etc., which I think is, quite frankly, bloody ridiculous. But that's another story. You know, they've not got to pay venues, they've not got to pay staff, etc. I know that they've got bills to pay, but I think that, you know, if you want, I'd rather have more bums on seats in the room than less bums for more money, especially on that basis. It makes you look more successful, more popular as well. So set up your Facebook group, lead them down the garden path, metaphorically speaking, obviously, and then hit them with the sales pitch, you know, and offer them an invite. Set up the sales page on Eventbrite. Eventbrite's brilliant. They will handle all your sales for you for a small commission. You will actually get sales from Eventbrite directly without even having to publicize anything. I know this because I set up a test event on Eventbrite, forgot about it, and the next day woke up to find I'd sold 2 tickets to an event I wasn't actually running. So yeah, it does work. Eventbrite, set it up, have your sales page, put in your Zoom link, make sure you've set up your Zoom link. If you haven't got Zoom for professionals, then, or the £15 a month, I think it is, for the full pack, up to 100 people. After that, it does go up in price to have more people in the room. But if you have to expand your subscription for that month because you've got 3,000 people that all want to be on the same call, I don't think you're going to be bothered by an extra few quid here and there. So yes, Facebook as a group to manage people, where you can share information, encourage them to log on every day for their new info. You can schedule information. Some of you may notice that yesterday I uploaded a PDF. Well, that PDF had been uploaded to the Facebook group several hours before, but I didn't want you all seeing it ages before to ruin the surprise what I was sharing. So I scheduled it for 7:30, just so I knew that it was going to be, so you could have your ebook or whatever it's going to be each day scheduled for 7:30 in the morning or 6 in the morning. so that they wake up, possibly with a notification, and they get to read your daily piece of inspiration, your daily help. And then you can invite them to your Zoom event. If they don't want to come onto the Zoom event, you can shift them into another group. You can offer them other things as well, as discussed by Alex yesterday on the course. All right, I saw Alex leaning forward, so I thought he was going to unmute himself and share. No, okay, not a problem. As we've discussed, free gifts, free talks convert. So ebooks in Facebook, email tips and tricks to help people. I don't know if Alex shared his method of stop smoking the way he has done it in the past, with asking people to do certain things before they turn up. Did you share that this weekend?
No, but it's in the boot camp in Stay at Home and Hypnotise.
There you go. I didn't want to obviously ruin the surprise. There's things like that that you can do to get them off cigarettes, or to make them more amenable to what you're going to do in the room afterwards. And talks, free talks at Lions clubs, round tables, the WI. When things get better, go and stand in front of 30, 40 women at the WI and teach them how you can make them more confident in life, more sexy at 80 years old, or whatever it is you're going to niche in. And, you know, free talks will get you clients. It will get your name out there. If there isn't a single person in the audience that's got a phobia, I guarantee there are half a dozen people that do, who are being affected by their phobia of buttons, or which is, anybody remember what the phobia of buttons was? Somebody paying attention yesterday?
Something like claustrophobia or something.
There you go. Yeah, they'll have people that know people that have got fears of something, so they can turn around. Or smoking, you know, you may not go in and give a talk to the WI about stopping smoking, but you know, you can mention that although you are, you know, the expert in confidence and, you know, feeling alert and a motivational coach with hypnotherapy, you can mention that you also provide other services. Have your roller banners either side of the stage selling what you do, with, of course, your contact details on. If you want roller banners designing and printing, www.hypnotic-consultants.co.uk. Yeah, free talks, absolutely brilliant. They love it. And again, radio stations. Over the years, I've been contacted by radio stations to talk on a number of subjects, from hot air ballooning to reading the tarot to hypnotherapy. And all of them have led to some sort of inquiry, booking, etc. And radio stations can be a brilliant way of spending an afternoon drinking somebody else's tea and having a chat with somebody. We are nearly at the end of the slides, you'll be pleased to know. So what I'm going to do is finish these slides. We're going to have a quick break because we're at 9:30. I don't know what time you normally have a break. You're muted, I can't.
About now.
Okay, I will whiz through the rest of these slides very quickly then. Obviously, these are afterthoughts. That's why they've not been laid out properly, etc. But you are always working. You should always carry business cards on you. You should have leaflets in the car ready to drop off at the hairdressers, the beauty salons, etc. when you're out traveling. You know, carry a rucksack with you if need be, with some in, or a briefcase type, you know, shoulder bag. Always have leaflets on you. Always have business cards on you. Promotional clothing is a great way to start conversations. That can either have your website on, or maybe even just a pin badge with a little swirly hypno disc that sort of thing. For that sort of thing and for decor, have a look at the PDF. I do have a Redbubble store with a lot of hypnosis products. I did say there wasn't going to be an upsell. There isn't really. I'm just giving you opportunities. Talking points such as masks. I'm going to edit that whilst I'm here. There we go. Can't do that whilst presenting. Masks, face masks at the moment. If you're going out, you want a face mask that has the ACMT logo on, or hypno discs on, or something along those lines, something comical, something that's a talking point, something when you're stood in the shop and somebody goes, oh, that's an interesting face mask. I've not seen one like that before. You can say, maybe muffled, yes, I'm a hypnotherapist. This is what I do for a living. And they can say, oh, what's your website address? I know somebody that's got a phobia of buttons. Always working, always carry something on, make sure you're identifiable.
Can I just add to that? I totally agree. That goes to the extreme of not just your mask or potentially promotional clothing. Only do this unless you've got a decent looking car, because otherwise, if you draw attention to the fact your car's a bit shit, it doesn't really sell the idea that you're highly successful and in demand. But when we had the two Jags, the Black X type and the XR Sports Jag, they both in the back window had professional hypnosis training and consultancy, hypnotictraining.com, which was a website we were using at the time, in the back window.
Obviously, depending on your location around the world, you may want to check legal issues with insurance, etc. If it's a personal car used for social and commuting travel only. I am no expert on insurance or vehicle insurance in any way, shape or form. And I would probably do a bit of research on the internet before contacting your insurance company and asking them. So I can guarantee that they're going to say, yes, you're going to have to pay extra for that. What you don't want is for all that to be on your car and for you to have an accident and the insurance company to turn around and go, oh, well, that's obviously a work vehicle, you're not insured. Just covering the bases, make sure that, you know, everybody is legal. Do your own research. You've muted yourself again.
I thought I'd unmute. Yeah, in truth, if you're going to really run this as a business, you may want to pay attention to the millionaire plan in the boot camp. Some of it's, well, not all the principles in it are completely right. You just need the odd thing, you know, when it mentions costs, find out what they are these days rather than when it was made. But your company, if you set up as a limited company, your limited company ideally would be leasing a flash looking vehicle for you so you look highly successful, which means if anything goes wrong with it, it's covered under the lease, and this is all a tax deductible expense to the company. So any extra expense for having it emblazoned with advertising is irrelevant because it's, you know, tax deductible expense.
So websites that you really need, don't panic, they're all in the PDF. Pixabay we've discussed, which is of course free, royalty-free photos, images. There's also music and video on there. Now the music clips are very short, but they're ideal for background music on promotional adverts on your videos for YouTube, etc. We've discussed how to deal with YouTube videos. Again, not something I'm going to share on here. You want to be in the boot camp for that and have a listen to yesterday's, I think it was yesterday we discussed it, yesterday's tricks on YouTube. But there's even video clips there as well, really high res video clips. Well worth having a look at. I've currently got a couple that I've downloaded to create a Zoom startup for meetings and shows, etc. when I work out how to show screen properly although this may actually look absolutely wonderful on the final video and people will be wondering what the hell I'm talking about. But if not, never mind. Kunaki, drop shipped CDs and DVDs. Yes, they do DVDs as well. Why bother with a CD when you can put them in there? I believe Kunaki have an option with packaging where they've got about 20 different packaging options. I'm getting a nod there. But you know, if you're having CDs done, put them in a DVD case. They look bigger, they look more expensive. They look so much better than a CD case. And I don't actually have one of, do I? I do. So yeah, CD, well, I don't know if I'm showing up on camera right now or not, but CD cases for DVDs or DVD cases for CDs, absolutely brilliant way of doing it. And you know, quality is excellent. Upload your artwork. If you haven't got your artwork, you know where to go. Gothic Consultants. Eventbrite, ticket sales for live and online events. Something to say right now is Eventbrite have changed their payment details. I believe they pay you several days after the event rather than as money comes in now, because it was getting a bit difficult with refunds, etc., for events and events being cancelled. So bear in mind that if you're running an online event, you won't get paid until after the event now. Having said that, you know, and they do take a little, have a dig around on their terms and sales. They've got two platforms. They've got a professional one and a standard platform with different pricing. It's not a huge amount, but there is a calculator that will tell you how much you're going to be earning depending on how many tickets you sell. If you're running an event on Zoom, I would honestly tell you to hold back some tickets. So only have maybe 80, 90 tickets on Eventbrite for the reasons we spoke about. And if need be, check people off on the list as they come into the room, have a waiting room set up, etc. It is more work. It is a little bit more stress, but it's far easier than having people go back to Eventbrite whilst you're trying to do a show or a therapy event with 100 people and 6 people can't get in because they've been denied access because the room's full, and they go back to Eventbrite and start complaining that you've then got to go, but the event went ahead. So it's worthwhile running that through using the waiting room, etc. on Zoom. Again, if you want to know about Zoom, go to the boot camp. Go and see Alex at facebook.com/Alex the Hypnotist, and he will give you details of how to join the boot camp, which has now got how many thousands of hours of video?
I'll just contact Stuart Harrison Cassell's on Facebook, and he'll also send you a link.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
exactly the same
yeah,
price.
Either or.
It won't cost you any more getting it from Stu, but he'll make a bit of a commission.
Yeah, there
But
you go.
it'll be the exact same price as it cost you getting it direct.
Fantastic, thank you very much. Yeah, so yeah, get in touch with me, Stuart Harrison Cassell. That's Harrison with a Z, HARRIZON. Cassells. Selfie, great way of selling digital products online. You can upload your products and you can have either links on your own website, you can share them in groups, you can spam them all over the place and people can click on the link, buy the product, and lo and behold, there you go, you've got products to sell. You could be making a passive income. Etsy, similar thing. Now, Etsy have a fee per product, which is off the top of my head 20p, but you can do digital products and you can also do physical products, which you can then ship out. So again, you've got the option of MP3s, videos, or CDs, DVDs, physical products, etc., books. You sell all those online. Have a dig around, see which one you prefer. I know with Etsy, I think it's limited to how much you can upload. I'm currently running tarot readings off Etsy, but I'm running it on a completely different system. So probably I'm not the expert on Etsy yet, but have a chat with me in about a month's time, and hopefully I've got my head around that. Buy me a coffee. It's like Patreon. It's for digital products. It's for blog subscriptions, so you can have a paid for blog. Again, like we were talking about with the Facebook groups, people can have regular information fed to them for a monthly fee. They can also just tip you. So if you're sharing information and you have a site that's worthy of it, or a blog, you can have your buy me a coffee button at the bottom, and people can literally send you $3-5 a time. And there are people that are making maybe not a full living out of it, but they're doing okay out of that. Again, it's something I've just joined up to. There is a link in the PDF. It's a link where I actually get a coffee bought for me if you sign up and get something as well. Elite Hypnosis websites, which is WordPress sites for hypnotists. We've got the kit there. It's probably a site that ironically I should update at some point. I'll get around to that maybe next week. But everything's there. And of course, don't forget to speak to Alex about the special offer if you've been on this call. It is limited, certainly to certain people, and we won't be giving out the discount codes here. Have a word with Alex. You know, he may well sort you out with a special deal if you've not been on this training course. Yeah, might sort you out a 50% off or something.
For what?
Perhaps. Sorry?
For what?
For the website kit. For people that aren't in the boot camp and haven't been on this weekend.
Oh, yeah. Well, for people who are who see this and aren't in the boot camp or weren't on this weekend, use the discount code WIZARD, WIZARD. That's WIZARD, WIZARD, in block capital letters at checkout, and it will knock 50% off the price.
All right, there we go. Fantastic. I'll put that in the PDF to accompany the notes. Obviously, if you've been on this weekend and you're on the call live, you know what the code is and you know where to find it. So Elite Hypnosis websites, and of course printing. If you want your leaflets printing, your show posters, if you're a stage hypnotist, magician, anything like that, if you've got a little shop and you want posters up in the window, if you want business cards, leaflets, Christmas cards, they're all available at hypnotic-consultants.co.uk. Again, it's another website that I really do need to update slightly, but get in touch with me and I'll sort that for you. We'll talk about branded face masks. We do have ACMT products available. So you can be sat there having a cup of coffee with your client in front of you out of your ACMT mug. I have one in the corner. I don't, you can't see it there. I've got one. ACMT mug there. There are blankets, so you can put a blanket over somebody's legs, as discussed yesterday. There are coasters. Fantastic. I look forward to seeing those in person once this craziness is all finished. There are face masks. There are plenty of other things. I think we've got clocks and there's. I think we've even got bath mats now. Why anybody would want a bath mat with the ACMT logo on, who knows? But they're there and they're available to view at elitehypnosiswebsites.co.uk/ACMT. Obviously, only do that if you're a member of the ACMT. Because to present yourself as a member of an association that you're not would be fraud, or may be fraud, depending on which country you're in.
No, it's definitely fraud.
It's definitely fraud.
It doesn't matter what country they're in. it's criminal fraud if they're not registered with me as a member.
Also, check out my Redbubble site for face masks with little hypno discs on, and baby grows that say, when I grow up, I want to be a hypnotist, but mummy says I can't do both. Yes, there are also products there for magicians, including 52 pairs of socks, each one with different playing card on. There are birthday cards for magicians and hypnotists, etc., etc. So there we go. Yeah.
That is just made me say, this is so sad, but I'm putting this on record now. 52 pairs of socks, right?
Yeah.
You buy all 52 and you stick on, I don't know, you obviously stick on one pair of them. So let's say whatever you personally feel is the most likely to be picked.
7 of hearts.
Yeah. But without any psychological forcing, you ask someone to name a card at the beginning. Apparently have one in your hand. Actually have one in your hand, but then you've always got the gag of ripping it up if it's not that one, which is your potential chance one. But then if it's your socks, you reveal it there and then. But if not, just ignore it and then wait until it's the bloody interval of the show and just go to the dressing room and change your socks. And then just leave it until the very end of the show and say, oh, by the way, can anyone remember? And somebody will remember what was said. And they wouldn't think you'd have the audacity to have 52 pairs of socks with you. You'd have changed your socks in the interval.
I'm liking it. Alternatively, have 52 pairs of socks and then have somebody on your Zoom call kneeling at your feet, not in that way, and changing your socks for you. You could actually have the socks predicted within seconds of the mentioning the card. Yeah. You're muted again.
Then you could go up a little step ladder so they can see you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, look at this. Free information for magicians here as well. You don't have to be a hypnotherapist to be enjoying tonight. Some would say that that's not even possible, but yeah, there's plenty of products there on my shop. Again, the link's in the PDF. And of course, we've got the Lead Hypnosis website offer, but we won't be telling you the code for that unless you're on yesterday's call.
Something's just occurred to me, Lo. Go back to that slide. Back one, like British COVID. $797 normally, yeah?
Yeah.
If you're not in the boot camp and you don't know how to get it at that discount, then obviously you can use Wizard, W-I-Z-A-R-D, block capitals to get 50% off, which divides that by 2 and brings it down to $398.50.
Yep.
But then it would cost you $490, the absolute bare minimum. If you go searching, I can tell you that there's a link on hypnosisweek.com where you can get in the boot camp for $497. So here's the thing. If you got in the boot camp for $497, which actually that link, Stuart Harrison Cassels can give you.
Yep. Ask
him for it and he can give you a link where you can get in the boot camp for $497 instead of $5,000. And then inside the boot camp is the code to get the 85% off. So it only cost you $119.55 for all the website kit then. So that way you end up saving hundreds, well, thousands actually, but certainly hundreds of dollars extra as well. It's in block capitals.
It's in block. Does that actually make a difference on that?
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Case sensitive on selfie.
It's terrible. So there you go. Right, that's the 50% off code. Look at that. We're editing this. We're going. The joys of the internet. You couldn't do this on a live event, could you? There we go. There. Just fair. Right. That is the end of the slideshow, folks. You'll be pleased to know. Going to take a quick 5-minute break that will probably last 10 minutes, which means I will see you back here in, just call it 10 on my watch.
whatever.
10, 12 minutes. I am literally just going to go and make another cup of tea and get rid of this screen, and then we can take it from there. I will, in fact, I'll stop sharing that. There we go. I'm back on.
Hey!
Yes, although the lighting isn't as it was. A couple of things. Yeah, we'll talk about everything else later. Go and have a break, guys, and I will see you in 10 minutes.
Cool.
Somebody else wants a cup of tea? Lost them up.
Okay.
Mr. Royal,
Hello there.
it's Richard. Can I send you a message, or have a 2-minute or 3-minute chat with you? I'll just send you a message now through the messenger.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send you a message.
Which can? Yeah.
Thank you.
And everyone else, feel free. You know, if you want to unmute and have a chat. You're sending me a message in the chat box here. Ah, yeah, excellent. How do I click reply?
Thank you. I got it. Thank you.
I'm just making sure I spelt it right. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
And that's the one you're referring to all the time with all the courses and everything inside.
Oh, shitty now. Yeah. I'll send you one more link. Just 1 second. If you don't know flipping heck what's in there, there's like 100 times more than what we've kept referring to.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that before on the thing. I just wasn't sure of how to do it, but that's brilliant. Yeah, I really enjoy your style. I think you're amazing. Like,
well,
yeah, larger than life.
Again, it's not for everyone, but the thing is, you know, you can't please everybody, and it's trying to please everyone in life, because
right. You
just make yourself unhappy then.
The way I found out about you was actually through Chase, that interview you did with him.
Oh, Chase,
and,
yeah.
And then I understood from that a lot of the stuff that he does, you have as well. So I want to see your stuff. I got very interested. I could tell, you know, some of the things you said that, you know, a lot of people claim you can't do this and this, but you know very well, you're telling him that it's absolutely possible.
Oh,
and you got me very curious about working with you.
There's 2 sections in the boot camp, one on brainwashing and mind control, and another on mind control and what some people would call conspiracy theories, but there's evidence and documented, well, there's training in there how to do it.
Right.
There's also a section called the Hypnotist Bible by one of my mentors, Delavar, who in his manual teaches how to get people to do things against the moral code and value and against the will and all that, and goes into it all. Obviously, all of this is applied purely for educational and research purposes only, despite the fact there are videos of me having done these things for controlled media projects where there was a legal defense for having arguably broken the law. Yeah. Oh, but of course, if you saw the Chase Hughes interview, you may also be interested by the Robert Phipps body language set that's inside the boot camp, the non-verbal communication set and stuff.
Nice.
That's very similar to the kind of stuff that Chase does.
And are you going to do this again, the live thing again? Because I really enjoyed it.
If I do, it's going to be months. And the reason being, because it was recorded and all the videos will be available, are available in the group.
Yes.
So you can watch them again when you want. The truth is, once you're in the boot camp, you've got a lifetime of study. As I said the other day, I never expect anyone on this planet to get through everything in the boot camp. You'd have to be clinically insane to go through everything in the boot camp. You wouldn't have any time left in your life to go and make money and enjoy your life with your family. That's why you should just decide what it is you want to learn and look at the stuff that interests you, or message me via Facebook.
Right.
Go, I want to work with sports clients, or I want to work doing this or whatever. And then I'll tell you which bit of the boot camp to look at, so you don't have to waste hours of your life.
That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. Yeah, because then I can, that's good. Because
the point of all this and the stuff that Stu's going to carry on telling you about in about 5, 6, 7 minutes is to give you the ability to have a freedom in life. You know, to be able to do what you want, when you want, with who you want. When, of course, it wouldn't mean breaking the law, which in some places it would at the minute with the COVID lockdowns and restrictions, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
You know.
I do a lot of telephone sales as well on the phone.
Oh,
and
right.
We don't really sell. We don't actually get money or credit cards. We just get them to set an appointment with a salesperson. So it's just more like convincing people that, letting them to want to meet with somebody.
But still, having that experience would certainly come in useful in terms of cold calling corporate companies to convince them to meet with you with a view to learning how you could help their sales force, for example, to become.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You know? I believe everyone's got some skill set or something that's already happened in their life that can be transferred over to give them an unfair advantage, so to speak, in this arena. I'm just randomly looking who we've got on. Darren, children's entertainer, but he's also been a magician. Immediately that gives him performing experience. He's got the balls to stand up in front of a crowd, which means, and so is Paul as well. Immediately, therefore, I'd be saying, you know, group hypnotherapy sessions, why fuck about one-to-one when you've already got the balls to do groups? Jerome, formerly in the military, immediately, because of that, he's going to be taken more credibly if he was to come up with some kind of post-traumatic stress package for ex-veterans. He'd get far more sales than I would. Even if I'm the most famous hypnotist on the planet, he'd still get more sales because he can prove he's been in the military.
And he's got the connections already.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean? It's about taking to you just mentioned telesales. The fact that you've done it, A, can help you get in companies, but B, you know loads of people get stuck in that rut of butting off, making the calls or you don't want the rejection. You know, you can come from a position of experience and you know,
I'd love to do that, help a lot of people. because like in real, like in real estate agents, they don't really have to get on the phone because they're independent, at least in where we live.
Mhm.
And it's not like a job, but if they don't sell anything, they don't make anything, and they're scared of the phone.
Well,
And
working
we said
with people
90%
like
are scared of
that,
the phone.
it's very similar to working with sports people. It's peak performance, motivation, feel good. So actually, the Life's the Game sports psychology videos inside the boot
Oh, sports psychology. Okay.
are also relevant to the sales arena because it's the same thing, getting them in the zone and feeling good about
Yeah.
it. All that.
Don't just look at your careers either. I was
Oh,
going to talk
just-
about
Just
niches. It's
quickly
on
looking
me.
at the chat, to answer Alan, sorry, I'm answering you. You asked Stuart. That's how rude of me. But you missed some bloody good info. But the replay will be in the group in the morning, and also will be a PDF with all the links, stuff that will help you. Well, basically, attract clients and make more money. So yeah, and not basically, yeah, it'll be worth your while to check out the first
The
30
PDF will be in
minutes.
either tonight or tomorrow, depending on how many more links I've got to add after today. Yeah, let's talk about niches whilst we're on the subject, and then I'll go through, because I didn't see any of the questions. I'm sorry about that, folks. I didn't see any of the questions, any of the comments in the chat. I just didn't show up on my screen.
No, well, I
So-
didn't, because it didn't when I was on full screen. So that's why I'm just having a quick look.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jerome's been answering a whole bunch of stuff. Thank you, Jerome. I appreciate
brilliant.
that.
Thank you.
And thanks again for posting those videos in the group yesterday while we're on. Much
Well,
appreciated.
talk about videos. Jerome has a wonderful setup for doing promotional videos. I'm assuming you're still doing it. Yep, fantastic. If you're looking for promotional videos that are different to the ones that Sheila Granger has produced with Alex,
Or you
have a
want
chat
them
with
doing
Jerome.
custom?
Sorry?
Or you want them doing custom?
Yeah, as long as it's not the same content, because obviously we don't want you stealing somebody else's content. Write your own sales pitch if you're going to do that. So we've got that.
What's the best way of people getting hold of you, Jerome?
Just contact me through Facebook.
Okay, so Facebook, you'll be in the group, which means you will find that under the members in the 5-star group, Jerome is there. Just click on and add him.
Jerome
Contact him.
Johnston.
Yep.
Right, Alan was asking about insurances. That's probably the best one for you, Alex.
Public liability, professional indemnity insurance. There are various places. The key is this. Just tell them that you are, all you do is hypnotherapy. Don't complicate it by saying complete mind therapy, drug-free, melt, cured or anything, because some of the insurance companies won't have heard of that. But if you just put hypnotherapy, which is true, because all of the things that I teach, albeit there's different logos and marketing brands, all of them ultimately are suggestion and hypnotherapy. So you're breaking no laws, you are telling the truth, they are all hypnotherapy. And therefore, companies like, if you're in England, insurancefortherapists.co.uk or Holistic Insurance Services or Merkel Insurance, you get a quote from all three of them. But the links to these are, they're in the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp, or you can always message me on Facebook, and then I can actually send you the links. In different countries, it's different. I can only speak for England, excuse me. But generally speaking, from what I get feedback of students is, keep it simple and just say you do hypnotherapy. If you're in America, some places you can't call it hypnotherapy unless you're a licensed
Medical therapist.
yeah, basically, in which case they're called consulting hypnotists. So obviously you've got to check out the laws and bylaws in your own area. But in England, yeah, insurancefortherapists.co.uk or Holistic Insurance Services or Merkel Insurance. It's worth getting a quote from several companies. I don't know why, but when you give them all the same information, that it's hypnotherapy, and you give them your age, how long you've been doing it, which obviously you've been doing it quite a few years, haven't you? I don't bloody know why, but some companies will insure. Well, nobody really knows. It's like car insurance. Nobody really bloody knows. The difference can be like 30, 40 quid between one to the other. Sometimes it can be more than that. But I know in England, for hypnotherapy, for public liability, professional indemnity insurance to cover you for a, good £2 or £3 million cover type thing, you should be able to get, depends what they offer you. I've heard of people in the past 12 months getting it as cheap as 55 quid. And I've heard other people getting charged as much as just under £100 from those companies. Don't get me wrong, there's companies out there that will try charging you 200, 300, 400, 500 quid. Shop around, you shouldn't be paying anywhere near that.
Most of them will be going to the companies mentioned and buying it off them and becoming an agent.
Yeah.
Right, other questions? Because Susan messaged me directly.
Ah, right, that's why I've not seen it. Okay.
Right, do you link your websites all to another? On the plan that we discussed yesterday, I would have a small link somewhere hidden away just so that Google can find them, but I wouldn't make a big deal of it. Yep, you might want to have a page that says different services available. If you found this by accident and you're actually looking for stop smoking, then try this site here. But I personally wouldn't particularly make a big thing of linking the websites together because you're supposed to be the expert in the niche. This is what you specialize in. So you don't really want to muddy the waters by letting the cat out the bag that you've got 4 or 5 websites. As we said yesterday, people aren't going to be searching for stop smoking if they want to cure their phobia of buttons, and vice versa. And the same with business cards. Right, if we talk about the leaflet, you just want it for your first website. I think that's probably where we're going on that. So your website on the leaflet, which I still haven't dug out because I got a mind like a sieve right now, will have your first website on, which is your general catch-all, which will provide services such as, it'll have a different page for each thing. So it'll have a stop smoking, a lose weight, a conquer your phobias, and chronic pain control on each of the pages, so that you've then got one card, one website, 4 different things to sell. 1 leaflet, 1 business card, 1 website, but 4 different things to promote. Obviously, as you start niching, you really do want to be looking at maybe not the leaflets, but certainly that's where the leaflets come in, is for your general first site that covers everything. When you start niching, you may want leaflets for that particular niche, but I would say that that's probably overkill, and I'm probably doing myself out of lots and lots of leaflet printing here, but I really wouldn't bother printing leaflets for every website that you're doing. So yeah, just put the web address and telephone number for your first website that you build on the leaflet. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question, Susan. I'll just go down.
Yes,
John
thank
says, sorry?
He said thank you.
you. I
All
said
right.
thanks. I just feel like you're just kind of talking into the nothing. So I wanted to acknowledge that, yes, I'm here, and yes, you did, and thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. Jerome says, where have we got? All right, yep, right, yep. Right, there are links in the chat for everybody regarding hypnotherapy insurance cover for the UK, such as, am I allowed to read these out, Tom?
Yeah, because it's what I just said.
Okay, Markel Direct, which is markeluk.com. Insurance for therapists. That's insurance, the number 4, therapists, and not the rapists.co.uk. And holistic insurance services.co.uk. Ask for a quote for all 3 each year when you need a renewal, as prices can and have been known to vary year to year. So that covers that. Couple of thoughts whilst we were talking about niches. Look at your hobbies as well. Look at what you do. Maybe there's something that you have a skill in that you don't do professionally, or something you enjoy that you can share with other people. So if you're not really sporty, but you play a lot of poker, you could go onto the sports section in the boot camp, and you could adapt that to poker players. And there are poker players out there that have hypnotherapists traveling around with them to all the big matches in Vegas, etc. So if you've got, I know we had a couple of really big poker players in Rochdale at one point who were doing quite well. I don't know what happened to them, but they were in the news quite regularly for winning matches. So if you've got a local poker player that's in the news who may be suffering with stage fright or maybe having a bad run, you could offer them maybe a couple of sessions for free in regards in, as a taster session, and then start traveling with them all around the world as their personal hypnotherapist. They can, maybe do it on a share basis of the winnings. You could take a percentage of it. I don't know. It's not something that I've particularly concentrated on. Photography, walking, hill walking, that sort of thing. There's all sorts of things that you can adapt to your skill set. And there's always the fact of phobias. It's always, niche down that phobia as much as you can by the end of it using your skill set. Paul, when we come out of this, I've told you where I see you going on your skill set. Certainly, as soon as they start going, lockdowns completely over, the venues are opening, I've given you a rough idea of where you want to be going. Darren, probably do a similar thing, maybe something a little bit different. I don't know if you've got any ideas for niching there. Alan, what do you do for a living, or what did you do for a living? What interests you? There we go. No, we can't hear you, Alan. Sorry.
Your mic's not working, Alan.
Yeah, you're unmuted, but
no, I can't hear you.
Type us a quick message in the box then, and obviously we've spoken about Richard with Richard's background in telesales. Susan, if you want to drop a note in, and Chuck, we've discussed Chuck's. All right, Alan, counsellor and social worker in child and adolescent mental health. So right, fine, brilliant. So you've got a background where you could either be working with the same sort of clients, you could be taking your skill set into work, or even working with other social workers who may be needing some sort of balance, some sort of relief, maybe they're suffering a bit with ADHD and not ADHD, PTSD again. I know certainly in the UK there's a lot of issues, and you could become the hypnotherapist for social workers in the UK with your background.
I know there's rumours of, I'm having a mental brain. I'm just going to look on my phone here. Past couple of days, I've interviewed some people for my hypnosisweek.com podcast, which you can find on youtube.com/celebrity hypnotist. And one of them was talking a lot about working with kids and how children's mental health is now a massively growing area, which you'll be aware of anyway. It is, and it's getting more traction and talked about, and they're finally doing something. And it looks like there's going to be more, certainly they're starting to give it more funding, but they probably will do more so as the lockdowns and stuff end and we get back to a bit more normality, because they'll want, the government in England will want to look as though it's doing something to address the issues that will have been caused by the lockdowns and all that. My guest was saying that they will hire freelancers. They actually will, the local authorities.
But you've got more chance of getting in because of your background than I would or anybody else. So you're halfway there. Niching is about as much about finding what you like doing, but also about finding an and knowledge, because you've already got a knowledge of something, then great, but also about finding an available audience. And if you've already got a foot in the doorway through your work, through your hobbies,
of course, it's come to me. You want to find episode 79 that I put up literally yesterday or the day before. Hypnosis Week 79, Gemma Bailey, who runs NLP for Kids. It's hypnotherapy and NLP being used specifically to help kids in schools, nurseries. Also, she liaises with social services and all this, that, the other. Very interesting interview. Might give you some, and she's also got a lot of free resources on her channels. You'll find the links underneath the video of her interview.
Chuck, whilst you're on camera, give us a thumbs up if you can, or if you'd like, or mute yourself, even better. Am I okay to share a little bit of your background?
Oh yeah, no, go ahead. And I've been popping in and out. I did a little Alex trick with one of my hypnotherapy patients here, clients, I call them, but I put a recording of my voice for a little bit so I could join the other day with headphones on the client, and they did not know the difference. And so I've been able to participate for parts, but I've gone through these so much. The Hypnosis Bootcamp has been so valuable to me over the years. And in fact, Alex, if you ever need a guest host, if your voice goes a little weak or something, I could recite your childhood story for people during the thing as well. But yeah, no, go ahead.
Share it. Oh, you're there, brilliant.
I just did that so that we could just quickly say hi.
Chuck Broder is a meteorologist. I was going to say weatherman, but that's sort of dumbing down his profession a little bit. He's a
because he actually knows how to work the things out. He's got
and I do it old school style. I write the numbers down first, looking at all the computer models. I am a true weather geek. There you go.
Excellent.
But yeah, I was on TV. I was on TV for 25 years, 23 years, 4 months here on the border in El Paso, Texas. And then everybody's eyes went from TV to social media, and TV couldn't pay the talent. So now they hire people who are weather reporters that just read the numbers. A lot of them don't know geography or grammar, but that's okay. They're inexpensive.
I've done that for years, Chuck. They literally, you've got television presenters who get sent the information from the Met Office in England.
Oh yeah, no, and then they act like as if they forecast it. But my wife and I do daily forecasts twice a day. That's one business. Then my second passion has been for the past 16 years, I've been a hypnotist and a complete mind therapist. And every time on all the podcasts, I always thank Mr. Alex William Smith for the guidance and for training me simply and to the point, which I like. I went through another program. I will not mention names, but it was long and drawn out, and they did not want you to practice any sort of hypnotherapy. And one of my keys to success that I give speeches to young people is the first thing to do is to practice. then persistence, and then enthusiasm. And enthusiasm comes from actually enjoying what you do, pursuing your passions. So there you go. But I love weather. Like yesterday, guys, we were 71 degrees. You know, we're the only country in the world that, you know, is not on metric, but 71, we dropped to, we've been in the 40s all day, and we have our first chance of rain here in the desert. So there's the forecast.
Excellent.
But I did buy weatherphobia.com, and I haven't done anything with that yet, as per the advice of Stuart a while back of kind of niching into the weather phobia.
Well,
So-
I'll just put Stu here so he can explain what he advised you. So there we go. You switch places.
Yep,
there he is.
Chuck.
We're just finalising the content for Chuck's website. He's got some brilliant testimonials and some brilliant video footage. So it's a case of building the content, getting it all in one place, getting it out there. But weather phobia and lightning hypnosis are the well, weather phobia is, again, because Chuck is a well-known face on TV from the past, in the media. He is the perceived expert in the weather. So why wouldn't he be the perceived expert in sorting out your problems with the weather, with his history? So again, perfect niche for Chuck there. And
Yeah.
I will schedule a call with you probably Monday or Tuesday next week, if that's good
Hey,
for you.
that sounds excellent. I'm so glad. Thank you for letting me just be a little part of this. I've been wanting to pop in. If you see Chuck or you see lightning hypnosis, it's both me. Depends on whether I'm on my laptop or I'm on. But yeah, I had a few clients, which is great. And we can see clients in person here. We're COVID safe, air filter, mask, hand sanitizer, the whole bit. Which, you know, I'm old school. I prefer to do that, but I still see a lot of people distance-wise over video platforms. I've done therapy sessions over Facebook Messenger. So wherever people are comfortable. So there you go.
Good man. That's the
Thanks
key.
very
Get
much.
your ass and do something. And you know, yes, I will arrogantly, egotistically, confidently, proudly, whichever you want it to look at it as, say the boot camp. There's nobody anywhere on the planet can offer you more useful real-world info than you'll find in there. In fact, you'll never use it all. But all of that is completely, utterly useless unless you actually take the action of asking me which bits are relevant to what you learn, and then you actually take the time to study it. And then most important of all, stage 3, take action.
Right, we've got Susan, who has said she's got a master's in marriage, family and child counselling. What's
Well, I mean, that's self-explanatory, isn't it? The expertise would lie. The thing is, birthing is a possible interest. And now the key I see looking at that immediately is that you've attached the word interest to birthing. You've said you've got experience in the other things, but what is it that, if you can find something that you've done or know about, but also enjoy, then without a doubt, those are the sort of areas to be looking at.
Well, I mean, I have birthed, and I didn't call it hypnobirthing, but the way that I did natural childbirth, and I realized now that that was kind of basically what I was doing. So that's why I've always thought, well, that would be something that I could talk about, because I've birthed more than one child and have had different experiences when it comes to birthing.
In which case, yeah, great starting point, because, you know, hypnobirthing is just a bloody name after all. The techniques have been used by good midwives. For some midwives, as my wife found, shouldn't really be in the job, but really good midwives have been using calming voice tones and language patterns and deep breathing exercises in conjunction for years to help reduce the use of drugs or eliminate it altogether.
Well,
And
and it's
again-
all, I mean, I think it's just learning how to get yourself into a really relaxed space prior. So there's lots of practicing. So I guess it would be like self-hypnosis.
Yeah, it's conditioning and teaching them. In the boot camp, it's the set that's, I can't remember off the top of my head if it's the set called Hypnotism Exposed training videos or the set called Look Into My Eyes. But one of those was filmed in London. And you'll know at the beginning, can we say we're at the, which airport was it?
Heathrow?
Yeah, we're at this hotel in Heathrow in London, and I mentioned that in the first video.
And
So
what's
it
it,
doesn't
what was
say
the
that
first one you mentioned? What was the first one?
it's either Hypnotism Exposed
Hypnotism.
or Look Into My Eyes. But in the first video, I'll make mention of the fact that we're at London Heathrow. And in that set, the one that is at London Heathrow, we have a experienced midwife in the audience, and I'm doing a full section on hypnobirthing and basically then asking the midwife whether what I'm saying is true or not. I mean, I knew it to be true because I've done it and used it with clients, but she was like backing me up all the way, and then also actually taught me a few things on the day that I wasn't aware of. So, you know, you might want to have a look at them.
Okay.
Yes, that's the one with the hypnotic carpets.
Yeah.
When you see the video, it all makes sense, but boy, those carpets were wild. And Richard, making hypnotic audios, is that something you've got experience in, or is it something you want to do, Richard?
It's something I'd like to do. You know,
Right.
I've heard some, and I like to help salespeople.
Cool.
To get them motivated.
Very shortly, you'll be in the boot camp. I'm setting it up in a different window as we speak. And in there, you will find, well, there's 47 ready-made hypnotherapy audio recordings that come with legal resale rights. Obviously, you've got the complete mind therapy script, which once you've recorded that once can be sold as hundreds of thousands of different things. And there's sections on internet marketing and telling you how to start selling products on the internet. So everything you need's in there, my friend.
Beautiful.
When it comes to CMT, I don't think we've discussed recording CMT properly. I spent it wasn't a big fortune, but I spent some money going to a professional recording studio, having it all set up for me and all the rest of it. I don't think there's any need to do that nowadays. And certainly you can't right now. Record it at home using Audacity. Get a good microphone, well worth the investment. Okay. And once you've recorded it, make sure that you have the beginning and end set so that you can always add something to it. So, you know,
oh, nice.
Thank you for purchasing this recording on curing your phobia of buttons. After today, your phobia of buttons. Yeah, you do the intro and then literally cut straight in to make sure it's set up when you do your first recording. So your master recording doesn't.
So so that those can be used again, the beginning or the end of the audio, and the hypnotic.
You keep the center and then change the end, the beginning each time.
And what about the voice? You know, because I've heard some, you know, over the years, and some use like a hypnotic voice and like that, and then some speak.
Listen to Alex's recording.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
when voice tones go down, they go down. When they go up, excited. The script and the audio listen to. Yeah. It's what people expect.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can literally just, and if you set it up right, you don't even have to have a different intro each time. It's up to you how deep you go into it. Throw in different, either a cover or an e-cover. There are websites out there, there are programs out there that will generate little book covers for you for your ebooks and or again GIMP, etc. Get your artwork off Pixabay, and literally what you want to be doing is watching the news each day, keeping an eye on Google News and going, right, what am I going to shit out today? And then either record the beginning or just design the cover, upload it, give it a fancy name. I would look at something like Etsy or Selfie. They've both got, well, you can use both. They've both got advantages. They've both got pros and cons. Upload it to there and away you go. You could be the expert on recording audios. There's a few people out there that have done it in the past, and that's their main source of income.
Wow.
Trying to think of. That's it.
If you go on my Hypnosis Week playlist on youtube.com/celebrity hypnotist, you can listen to the interview with Britain's #1 top-selling, best-selling, rated audio self-help author, Glenn Harold.
Okay.
And he gives a lot of insights into how he got to the #1 spot.
Do an open-ended recording with thank you for downloading this special recording to help you overcome your phobias, and don't or phobia, and don't actually mention what it is, because obviously the title and everything else will already be in there. And literally just sit there with the website open with an A to Z of phobias and go through them all and go, right, what is your phobia? Yeah, and literally just create a cover for each one. You could
Beautiful.
do, even taking your time, you could do 25, 30 in a day, because it's one recording and various covers, upload them to a site. As I say, Etsy charge you round about 20p, so I'm guessing 30 cents to upload a product every so many months. I don't know what the deal with Selfie is at the moment. It's free to upload, but there's a monthly fee.
There's a monthly fee. The monthly fee, basically, Selfie, which once you've paid it, doesn't matter how much you sell, how much you list up. Plus, they've also got a built-in mailing list now, so people can add themselves to your newsletter and stuff, I find. Plus, you can also have merchandise and stuff on there as well. But bare minimum plan is, do you know what? I'm not sure what the bare minimum plan is, because I'm not on the bare minimum plan. To start off with, the lowest price option is $19 a month. You get a discount if you pay for the year in advance. You save about, you get like a year for the cost of 10 months.
So, set up recordings, and again, everybody that's doing a niche, and if you can always set up recordings in somebody else's name, or not your own name rather than somebody else's name. Don't be setting up recordings in the name of Paul McKenna, because people might recognize that you're not Paul McKenna when they hear your voice. But if you want to cover, if you want to be known in a specific niche, such as snake phobias, but then you want to start recording hypnobirthing CDs, there's nothing wrong with you releasing it under a pen name or a pseudonym, so that you're not muddying the waters against the site that is, I'm the expert in snake phobias and that's all I ever do. I don't do anything else.
Yeah.
So you can, and a lot of these sites like Selfie and Etsy will allow you to have multiple accounts paying you into your own PayPal account or bank account. Obviously check out the terms and conditions, but you could literally be, if you've got the ability to sit there and just churn out e-covers, you could be making hundreds every month, hundreds of recordings for everything that would make you a specialist. And obviously see which ones work I mean, whilst we're on the subject, let's go for it. Go into a Facebook group that you're a member of, that you're well known of, the sort of chatty ones that people have, and ask them what their phobias are. You know, do you have a really weird phobia? Do you have do you have family? What's the weirdest phobia that you know, or that somebody you know has? And get into this conversation, and then you can invite them to your group that you've set up, your phobia group. Yeah, because you're only starting a conversation. You're not advertising anything at the moment. It's not like you're going, would you like to give up smoking? I can help you stop smoking right now. But you can invite people into the group, the Facebook group, as we discussed, and then you can start giving them free tips on how to overcome their anxiety when they're around buttons or whatever it is. I think we're probably going to stick with buttons for the rest of the day. You get the idea. So
thank you very much. And how about music? Because some of them have that music. Some people have the C side.
There's
the waves.
About 12 full length. Like there's tons of copyright-free music inside the boot camp.
Or alternatively, speak to.
Nice.
Speak to. Remind me of the name. Memory's gone.
Who? What?
Music that you were saying about yesterday for the CDs.
Oh, yeah, that's different. If you're going to be selling them in that way, giving them to clients, fine. You and using in sessions, the hypno music from Tom Silver and Armin McGill. But if you're going to be selling them as commercial downloads, you need copyright-free, royalty-free music. But there's shitloads of it in the boot camp in a section called royalty-free music, I believe.
Right, there you go. Boot camp again. So invite them in, lead them. I say lead them down the garden path. I'm being a bit unfair there. But yes, get them in and get them used to you. Give them some free information. Set up your event on Eventbrite and on Zoom. Make sure you've got Zoom ready to go with a link so that you can have that to Eventbrite. So it's all automated, and away you go. Whilst I'm on the subject, backgrounds for Zoom. This is not the background I use for Zoom calls normally. This is the back end of my office. I've got studio over there, which I use for, I've got three different backgrounds technically. I've got a plain black one, I've got a red sparkly one, and I've got one with a sunshine that's a little bit more esoteric, tarot-like. This is not the sort of thing, you don't want skulls in the background behind you, or glass cabinets whilst you're doing hypnotherapy work. However, and apologies to anybody that's got OCD for the upside down B on the sign. I'll come back to that in a minute and why it's there. There it is. It's been like that all weekend. I don't know if anybody noticed. I've got an idea. I've got two cards up in the back. One says, let your rainbow shine, and one is a sort of winky wanky, arty farty, hypno, meditative type card. They could well be, one of them is, thank you cards. They could well be cards that are thanking you for helping people. I also got the books behind, which you can't actually see the titles of probably, although some of you may recognize Tarbell in the background, and the 3 volumes of the Mind and Magic of Repro Magic. If you want to get into mentalism, speak to Alex about those. But yeah, thank you cards pinned up on the back wall or around you or in your therapy room. Absolutely brilliant in real life. All these cards that have been written by people that are so grateful for changing their lives. What do you do if you haven't seen any clients yet? I think you can guess. Yes, some of you have got that one. Brilliant. Right, yes, the upside down B. It's reminded me of something. Publicity. Now, this may not work for everybody, as a lot of this may not work for everybody. There are things that you can pick and choose that can suit your own market. Imagine if you were to have your car with vinyl lettering put on. I don't think it's that expensive at the moment to have vinyl lettering on the back window of your car. What would happen if, for instance, you know, the spelling was wrong, and then somebody was to take a photo of that, make sure that the website address and telephone number is right, but there's something odd about your name or something, and I'm not sort of going, make sure that it says, you know, James the rapist, you know, make sure it's actually something that isn't going to cause you negative damage. But somebody was to take a photo of that, the back of the car or the sign above the building that you're a therapist in, and was to send it to the press or give it to Sign Shrine. I'm sure a lot of these ones on Sign Shrine have been made up just to see how much traffic they can get. Reddit was another one. You know, there was a website not that long ago that crashed because somebody had one of those big giant checks in a photo, and everybody wanted to buy a big giant check, and they said, where did you get that from? I want one of those for a gag or to put on my wall. And the person who put the photo up with this charity check gave the link to the website. Within the day, it had crashed because it was that popular. Now, Reddit's great for that sort of thing because you've got all these little subreddits like Facebook groups. If you're not on Reddit, sign up maybe twice with different account names and get involved in some of the things so that, you know, you can work locally if you want to. Maybe you want to join a fantastic, there you go, Darren's put his virtual background up advertising himself. That's what I like to see. Every opportunity is a promotional opportunity, Darren. So, but yeah, join Reddit and again, start a thread on what's the strangest phobia, or join one on, if you want to get into horse phobias, join a horsey group and get into that, or, you know, you get the idea of where this is going. Reddit has huge subreddit for hypnosis and subliminals, and it goes deeper than that. They have some very, very interesting, shall we say, subreddits for hypnosis. And again, there's a market out there. I must get 3-4 inquiries a month from nefarious individuals asking if I'll hypnotize them for pleasure. We'll just say that. If that's what you want to get into, hey, there's a market out there, and some of these people will pay a fortune. You know, it's the whole dressing up like a baby thing. Yeah. So if they're not hurting anybody, that's fine by me.
There's that. There's loads of other kinks as well. People who well, let's just say, if you're male and you were prepared to get your bits out on camera, or in person, and you wouldn't have to physically touch anyone, but it's fucking weird. People want to feel like they're frozen in chairs, like a shop dummy, and they can't move. All manner of weird stuff, but I meant, if you do want to get into stuff like that, I do cover it actually in the bizarre why I do, but it's covered to a degree in the biology of hypnosis video training set inside the Elite Hypnosis Bootcamp.
I mean, go searching the net for yeah, the term hypno kink is there. We were sat in a pub one day halfway through a seminar, and there was a rather famous, I'm not going to mention those, but there was a rather famous stage hypnotist who was sat with us, who went, guys, whilst we're at lunch, I've got to show you this. And they went searching and brought up a site that had various hypno-kink things in, including I was shagged by a werewolf, I think was one of them, wasn't it? We were like,
yeah,
and it was £6 to download from this site. Now, I've seen several people are writing this down right now. I'm impressed. It was £6 to download. And we were all very curious, as you can imagine. Well, let me tell you, there's if you want to sit at home, if you're doing nothing else, if you're not seeing a client and, and you've got a bit of downtime and you've got the ability to write the script or
I was raped by a werewolf. That was it, because this.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was raped by a werewolf.
By the end of that day, this
we
person
bought
the domain name Werewolf Rape Hypnosis or something.
Yes, that was.
But registered it in my name. Now I never used it. I never renewed it. But on Whois record somewhere, there will be a record of me owning that domain name for a year.
Werewolf sex with a hypno. Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but yeah. Yeah, so set up a website, make sure it's anonymous, or make sure it isn't if that's your thing. But set it up or an Etsy or Selfie, etc. And when you've got downtime, record something that is just a little bit out there and odd and different. Does that happen once in a blue moon? Thank you very much. I used to be a werewolf, but I'm all right. No. Yeah, there's options out there. There's so much that you can be doing as well as seeing clients directly. We've talked about writing books. We've talked about the audios. We've talked about the Zoom. Yeah, get people into a Zoom meeting. Find a local. And I know that at the moment we've got the world as our oyster, more so than we ever have as hypnotists. But I still believe that the local touch is great. And I still believe that you've got enough people within, depending on where you live, obviously, 5-10 mile radius that you could be working with even online. And I think there's still that almost sense of trust that way. You've already got halfway there if you live in the same town. If you want an
example, again, go on youtube.com, go to Celebrity Hypnotist channel, click on the Hypnosis Week playlist, look at episode 80 that was released today, where I interview Rob DeGruff, who runs Hypnose, HYPNOSE, Centrum, CENTRUM.be in Belgium, a hypnotherapy centre. Where he says that he can drive from one end of the place he is, as it were, the city, to the other in like 2 hours. We're not talking a very big, massive place. And he said there's not a humongous population. It's big, but it's not that. And yet he has got a team of 5 therapists working full time for him, as well as him working himself. That are often booked up 9 weeks in advance. Obviously, they're not as busy as that right now because of COVID restrictions, but it goes into how he built this up, and it's quite inspiring that if you go about things in the right way, you don't actually need a massive population.
Because Belgium is tiny compared to certainly the UK.
Yeah,
but you've got the whole of the English-speaking world, and I think that there's more English speakers, maybe not native, but there's more English speakers than there are any other language spoken around the world. Obviously, accents do make a difference. Some people, struggle with certain accents, etc. Go to your local online press, or we've got the Rochdale Online here, but there's probably a community online website type thing, and speak to them and find out if they've got either a reporter or they know of somebody because they did a story who's got a phobia of ice. And for those of you in the boot camp, you'll know exactly where I'm going on that one. And in return for a story, offered to sort the reporter out. You know, or a few, you know, a month's worth of advertising banners or something along those lines, and a story, because they'll love to share a story about how their phobia of buttons or ice is solved. The quirkier your niche, the more likely you are to get pulled onto television. I honestly think that, you know, maybe not with ice, but if, you know, you had a website that was all about the phobia of ice, I'm sure you'd have had a few calls from the press by now. And again, look at the boot camp for that. That's something that's difficult to discuss online, but you'll get the idea. Niche, yeah, niches all the way. You know, and don't forget to, you know, look for the other opportunities, the quirky stories, such as the people who can't have tattoos because it hurts too much, and get in touch with them and go, I can help with this. The world is literally your oyster. Make sure you're doing everything legal. Don't make any claims that you can't fulfill. We talked about setting up at a zoo. That's obviously not going to happen now, but there's airports. If you've got an airport nearby, even if it's a small airfield, one of these pleasure trip ones, get together with somebody that's got a plane and offer flight phobias. Get together with somebody that's doing helicopter pleasure flights. The same. Possibly wouldn't do it with hot air balloons because the issues with them not flying as often as possible. I'd love to have done that as a career. Got a phobia of hot air balloons. That'd have been brilliant. Free flights every morning. But yeah, there's petting farms, petting zoos. Got a phobia of goats, come and see me. As Billy Connolly once said, you know, if you've got a phobia of sharks, stay out the fucking water. But you'd be surprised how many people will come to you because they've got a phobia of sharks or similar. Yeah, it may not be your bread and butter. I wouldn't, if you're living in Manchester, I really wouldn't be putting that on as a niche.
Wow, I just randomly, I went looking for something and I've just accidentally discovered that clearly the lockdown's getting to people, because Paul McKenna has stuck on his YouTube channel, which is I'm Paul McKenna, his official channel. He has stuck over the past, well, some were up 4 months ago, some were 7 months ago, but all basically when people can't be out doing seminars and stuff, so he must be getting bored. He stuck up all of his television, stage hypnosis television series 1, 2, 3, all the specials, and he stuck up his street hypnosis special. He stuck up his American one that he did, the world's funniest hypnotist, 1 hour TV. He stuck them all up. So if you're interested in stage hypnosis, there's a ruck of bloody inspiring material to look at there. Bloody hell.
We've got a link in the chat for those who are interested.
And he's put up the Paranormal World of Paul McKenna, the entire series.
Well, that's me not getting any work done tomorrow now.
Oh fantastic. My God. He's stuck up like, yeah, well. Wow.
Just a quick one here. Talk about YouTube. Whilst we're on it. YouTube won't allow you to upload MP3s because they're a video site, not a music site. But if you've got a video editor such as Filmora, and you've got video footage of spinning disc or literally just a card with your name on that changes every so often, and your website on. You could put your CMT audio on it. You could upload it to YouTube unlisted, and then you've got a link to send people so they can listen to your audio each night without even having to download anything, because they've got a link. Because it's unlisted, nobody else will find it. You tell them to subscribe to your page, so they can then see other, the only way they're going to get the link is to subscribe to your page. Then you'll see them, you can email them the link. It's got nothing to do with that. It's just another subscriber. And then what you can do is, after a month, you can delete that audio, because obviously they've had their month listening to it and they're treated. They've stopped smoking, they've got over their phobia, whichever. You can delete that audio link so it can't be shared with anybody else. Nothing to download, no links to where, just literally a quick click on this link and subscribe. Or go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Just quick thought there, which I know it works because that's basically how I dish out my tarot readings that are recorded. So I record them at home in front of a camera in the studio, and then do that on the actual phone because it's easier than using a webcam. Again, another thing, when you're actually doing recordings, your phone is going to be better than your computer because it's not battling with lots of other software, RAM, emails popping in, Facebook pop-ups, the whole lot. I then download it. I'll trim off the ends, although I've now got a little clicker remote control to start and stop the recording. And then I upload that to YouTube, copy the link. It's unlisted, so only people with the link can watch it. Copy the link and then post that into PayPal under tracking, where it says who's sent this item. It says other, and I put down Fortune Telling Academy and YouTube, and then I put in the link and I send it. Job done. You then send them an email as well going, here's your link. But that's another way of hosting your audio if you wanted to. Nice and easy. No worries about linking to files that are going to get downloaded and shared all over the place. And you've got complete control because you can delete them after a month or whatever. Whilst we're on the subject, if anybody would like to learn how to read the tarot cards, runes, etc., get in touch. I've got a wonderful package, which is 5 hours of explaining what the tarot cards mean, how they work. We'll also go into dice, runes, thanks to Jonathan doing his bit. You're muted.
In the 5-star group, there's a discount code, but it runs out at midnight on Sunday. So
right, there you go. There's a discount code in the 5-star group for anybody that wants to learn. And it's great backup. Wander around with literally a pack of tarot cards in your pocket. You could be set up working anywhere within days. Because the way we teach it is so easy that, send an idiot out and be fortunate within 24 hours, I reckon.
Yeah.
Can't be that difficult. So I've done it for a living. So,
have you much more to cover, Stu?
No, no. I mean, it's bits and bobs and any questions and
housekeeping. Well, before we open it, if you've got any direct questions, then you can unmute yourself and ask Stu or myself or both of us. Before that, I'll just mention whether you're on this live or you're watching this replay in the 5-star hypnosis group, whichever that may be. If it's if you're on it live or you're watching it in the 5-star hypnosis group, please can you, when you watched and it stimulated you and you're thinking, wow, they're great ideas, could you leave a comment, testimonial, review, call it what you will, for Stuart in relation directly for Stuart, who's on screen, in relation to his marketing and motivational and promoting your business advice. And if you can do that separate from, or in the same post, but as separate paragraphs, one comment about Stu and his stuff, and then another about me, if you haven't already. Most of you have, well, it's just the odd person. But if you've suddenly acquired the boot camp, and then when you've gone and logged in and you come to that realization that, you know, in life, things seem too good to be true. And then just sometimes you actually find out when you log into something that there's actually more in there than you could have possibly psychologically comprehended, even though it was being repeated to you again that it was everything you'll ever need on the planet. But when you log in, you'll see and you'll go, oh, when you consider that each of the different sections has got hours and hours of video in each section. That's why I say I don't expect anyone to look at it all. So yeah, if you could leave feedback for us both in the group, we both appreciate it. And other than that, thank you for having joined us. Message us on Facebook if you've got any questions after today. But just to sort of finish up for the next 15 minutes or so before we all go and get our suppers, if you've got any questions, unmute yourself and yeah, ask the main man.
Any questions, any feedback, any thoughts, anything you didn't understand, anything that you're confused about, even from the last 4 days? Although please don't ask us to start again.
There was a hand in the air there from Chuck, but you could just speak, Chuck. You're not muted.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I just wanted to say, based on the audio recordings, this summer, a friend of mine who was a DJ all over the United States, and he's a voiceover guy, he does How to Train Your Dragon toy commercials, Star Wars toy commercials. Oh. Anyway, he had a studio up the street from my house. I went with your music, your royalty-free music and binaural beats. I used your complete mind therapy script. I recorded 5 different scripts. Actually, I just recorded complete mind therapy, but I had a different beginning, as Stuart said, a different middle treatment and a different end. So I kind of went into it a little bit more than what you said, but I have one for weight loss, erase anxiety and phobia and all that.
You recorded it as though you were seeing a one-to-one client for weight loss, for example. Saying the course, how you can make it a bit more specific by saying, see yourself on the television set when you had all that weight you want to get rid of and stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I did. And my secondary effect of that, or impact, people are like, hey, you know, I've lost 15 pounds in 5 weeks, one lady told me, but I've never slept better in my whole life. And I kind of thought at first, am I kind of like your middle school math teacher that puts you to sleep? But in the same aspect, people said my voice put them to sleep. So that's one of my niches now too, that I'm really focusing on, is helping people sleep better. So there you go. But I wanted to thank you, Jonathan, because everything's right there in the boot camp. I just grabbed it. I grabbed some articles for some weight loss, and I added that into the script for the recording and everything. So everything you need for doing a recording and then going ahead and selling them, or I give them as added value to my sessions, especially people that are in more than one session. I'll give that along with the recording of the session. So I just thought I'd add that.
Thank you. I don't know if you've noticed, but for your benefit and everyone else's, because it's only in the past, 4 or 5 months that I added them in, but there's a section now that's got about 100 different zip files in it with like 10, 12-part video courses on vegan diet, vegetarian diets, different weight loss plans, different self-help. There's shed loads of stuff in there, and they come with resale rights, so you can give them as extra added value to your clients.
Yeah, I will check that out. I have not seen that one yet, but that would really help me out, especially in my month-long. Everybody's getting into coaching, consulting, and they're all looking for material. But if you're part of the boot camp, you've got it all right there. So
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Chuck.
You're welcome.
Just in case you haven't seen it, Alan sent a chat message saying, Jonathan, Alex and Stuart, lots of great info, encouraging and inspiring. Thanks for the past 5 days of webinars to you both.
Excellent.
So that's right. Quick thought. Agoraphobia, agoraphobia as it's spelled. Agoraphobia. Going to guarantee that that's going to be coming up lots and lots more. You want to be looking at the statistics right now in the news for, I'll use the term mental health, which may not be, I'm using that as a general term. I'm not saying that you are professional mental health experts in, with the qualifications that come with it. You're obviously not doctors, nurses, etc. But you want to be looking at things like that. The rise in certain phobias there will be a rise in certain phobias. There are people that haven't left the house. I know a friend who has left the house twice in 9 months, which A, isn't healthy now, but B, is going to lead to major issues when they finally do leave the house. Whenever lockdown here completely ends and they're no longer sheltering. So look at things like that. Set up your Google News alerts. Do the whole thing with the certificates. Get photos of your certificates. You with your certificates. Have them printed on decent paper. If you've got to order it off Amazon, I'm sure we can get Alex to drop a link into the group showing which paper he recommends for printing his certificates out on. Get them off to the press with the press release. And I think, I'm just waiting for him to come back. But I think that is, unless there are any other questions, I've got shaking heads. Did you do the press release thing with the certificates?
Yeah.
You did, right.
Right, that was day one, session one.
Right.
Now I got in the media.
So there you go, the top 12 phobias in the US. It's just come through from Jerome. Thank you very much. Although I suggest that they're probably going to change in the next 12 months when they finally update it again. If we just have a quick look, what have we got? Top 12. Arachnophobia, fear of spiders. Fear of snakes. We won't bother with all the fancy names. Fear of heights, fear of flying, fear of dogs, fear of thunder and lightning is number 6. Affects 10% of the US population. Here's one for you folks. Trypanophobia, fear of injections, affects 10% of the US population.
I guarantee that's going to be number 1.
Yeah. I would seriously be looking right now. Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I said some might say with good reason.
Yeah, well, let's not get into that one today. Fear of injections is got to be, right now that should be something that you're all considering doing some sort of press release, especially if you've got somebody in your family that once had a phobia of injections and is willing to have a photograph taken as they're being vaccinated. Obviously make sure that they did actually have a phobia. Don't be lying about it to anybody because that would be wrong and illegal.
Well, if anybody needs it, I used to have a fear of needles.
There you go, brilliant. Were you treated with hypnotherapy?
Unfortunately, no. It was when I went into the military, I got shot up so much it got to the point where I no longer had a fear of needles. They needed because literally, I mean, they used for the most part they used this little air gun, but even when you have to go to get your blood drawn and they put the needle, it got to the point where I could go, oh yeah, you got to use this vein right here because I've been stuck so many times that it no longer affected me anymore. But I had a definitely fear of them because when I was little, I actually stepped on a needle.
Your
had to
press
have
release
surgery.
could just reference the fact that you used to have a phobia you no longer do, but you now treat people that do have phobias. That's what you have to
Exactly.
go into. You don't have to say how you overcame that. Number 8 is social phobia, social anxiety disorder. Again, going to estimate that that's going to probably be in the top 5 very soon. At number 9, agoraphobia or agoraphobia. They've said that it's fear of a situation where escape may be difficult. Okay, that's, you start putting names to things, does it really matter? That only affects 1% of the US population at the moment. At number 10, it's mesophobia, which is a fear of germs. That's an interesting one. That's really interesting. Some of these figures are obviously off, because apparently that affects 13% of the US population. Claustrophobia and glossophobia, fear of public speaking. So immediately there you've got, there were 12 in that top 10 list. Oh no, it was the top 12.
Yeah, it was top
phobias.
12.
You've got 12 phobias there. And as I say, you know, quick phone call, quick getting in touch with the press. You could even say that you have personally seen a rise in some of these phobias recently, and you'd like to offer their readers an opportunity. You know the drill by now. Go out there and do it.
So that I am actually downstairs in time for my lasagna and garlic bread. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Stuart, for sharing that with us. Either whether you do it tonight or about lunchtime tomorrow, because it's going to be about lunchtime tomorrow when the video replay goes active in the group. So, but it won't hurt if you do get the PDF in there sooner.
Yeah, I will do that tonight before I go to bed.
Cool.
In theory.
Thank you, each and every one of you. If you could leave feedback for Stuart and myself in the group, now that it's officially the end, so to speak, and you've all finished, graduated, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, final word to Stu before I click through. Goodbye, everyone. Although I will be keeping an eye on the group a bit tonight, so you know, if you want to post things in there, I will reply, and you know, that's always a way of people discussing with each other as well.
To those of you who have turned up, thank you very much. To those of you watching the replays, thank you again. I understand that life was busy and it was very short notice, an extra day on the course that you weren't expecting. I hope you've taken something away. If you've sat through me wittering on for the past 3 hours and you've learned one little thing, I would say it's probably going to be worth your while, because you can take that forwards for the rest of your life. It could change your business, one little trick. If you haven't learned anything at all today, please, you know, I'll have a Zoom call with you next week and you can teach me. But it's the only thing that's stopping you now, apart from this damn pandemic, is not putting things into action, not taking action, not making the phone calls, sending the emails. Brilliant. We've got people that has just said that Jerome said he's setting up an online store in the next 24 hours. That's brilliant. That's the sort of action we want. Once you've done that, Jerome, can you please send me a link, PM me the link to the store once it's all set up, and I'll happily spam it around my page and a few groups and Twitter and all the rest of it. Not promising you're going to get a load of sales off it, but you never know. Every little helps, as they say. Yeah, take action, make the recordings, get the press releases written. You know, I spent a lot of time today doing the PowerPoint. You know, if you spend the same amount of time writing the press releases or even just copy and pasting them out of the boot camp, if you're not in the boot camp, more for you. I think we've explained that there is more than just a couple of hypnosis scripts in there. You can learn how to use Zoom, how to use social media, how to do things that you never thought you'd need to. Get into the boot camp, and to your success, folks. Congratulations, and we'll see you soon.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
again.
Thank you. Thank
And
you.
thank you, everybody.
Ciao,
Meet you
ciao.
all soon. See you on the other side.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Stay safe.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you,
Depending where you
gentlemen.
are.
Thank you very much.
Bye for now,
Cheers.
everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye. I'm going to find the button. Hey. I'll speak to you soon, mate.